Hello there. We're the Final Fantasy X team that will be bringing you the lovely Final Fantasy X today. I am one of your commentators, Christenarium. I am joined by my lovely co-commentator and assistant, who is...
sorry, excuse me. Yep,
KrakenUp.
Speedrun Fantasy X, NiGhTBoX happy to commentate, and it should be a blast.
Yep, and more...
And I'm NiGhTBoX.
Smart. Are you excited for your run today, Mr. NiGhTBoX?
No.
You know what? You can't get back at his honesty if nothing else. We love that for him. Are you ready to start, though?
Oh, I'm setting up.
Okay, brilliant. Do you want to give him a countdown?
Let's start it.
Let's do this.
Alright, let me just get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off.
And just like so, first question I have to ask before we get into any nitty-gritty whatsoever: do you have a name for Tidus? Oh, it's just Tidus. Oh
no.
Oh, in a marathon run, Tidus. Oh, I can't believe we're vanilla like that. That's tragic news for me.
Every second counts, Chris.
Every second counts, apparently so.
Sorry, muscle memory kicked in.
It's fine. I'm only slightly disappointed and hurting on the inside.
I didn't plan this.
It's fine. These things happen. These things happen. So we're gonna have to get a little bit of an elephant in the room out the way first of all. The category that NiGhTBoX will be running today is called Cutscene Remover Any %, TrueRNG. Kraken was telling me before the run that he really wants to explain to everybody what TrueRNG means. So take the floor, Kraken. Please explain to us what TrueRNG is.
Okay, so I might miss on a couple of technical points here, but essentially, we've essentially worked out a way in which we can track all of the RNG through the run. Well, most of the RNG through the run, barring a few exceptions, allowing us to track rolls and all this. So somebody basically made a mod where all of those RNG rolls feed themselves into a constantly rolling RNG, so we can no longer do that. And basically means that encounters, damage rolls, status rolls, all that are essentially random, and it just creates a bit more variability within the run. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think that is RNG 0 or 2, one or the other. I can never remember.
RNG 2 is the really random one, but everything is fed into RNG 0. But the way it works, it could be any RNG, it wouldn't matter at all. So now we got that out of the way. Something to mention: Final Fantasy X is like it's a relatively chill speedrun, but there's just a lot of little key things you can do in Final Fantasy X. And if you were paying attention, you probably already saw one. You've got to wonder why a speedrunner's first action in a battle is to defend, instead of just booping the sin scale over the head with Tidus' newly acquired sword. The reason why that is because if you defend, you skip a spines attack from the sin scale. There's lots of little things like that. We're now going to see NiGhTBoX throw out an overdrive. Let's see how fast. Is he doing it with keyboard or is he doing it with controller? He's doing it with keyboard. He's got the 1 through 8 strats going. Let's go. Let's see the roll on Amis, which was 3-2-2. Ideally, you want to see it a little bit higher than that. Yeah.
I did it badly.
Details. Go on, Kraken.
Yeah, I was going to say, the joy of the face rolling the keyboard to do that overdrive is sometimes a finger will slip, and unfortunately then it knocks the time out. But still probably on par with what you would do with a controller anyway, so it's not so bad.
And we're on Amos now. The way Amos works is it looks like a scary boss is doing lots of damage to us. However, it will always be percentage HP damage, rounded up, so it will never actually be able to kill us.
Thank you, Oren.
We love the crits. All we want to see is just in the early game, the more crits, the better. This would be a 4 Demi Amos, right?
At 5.
5 tragic. Well, can't have everything.
Yeah, well, it could be 6.
Standard Amos then. Could be 6. It could be 6.
The fun thing about that fight is like you can low roll ever so slightly, and Amos can be left with single digit HP, and you can have a demi attack, which costs in around the time of 10 seconds. But
Yeah.
it's not the end of the world either. It's not like your run's end because of it.
Yep. This
Another
fight again.
little cool thing here.
Go on.
Chris, take it away.
No, by all means, go on.
Essentially, if you just attack, so there's a weird interaction where if Titus gets 3 turns before Oren gets his 2nd turn, I believe, you weirdly only have to attack the tanker 3 times, whereas normally it's 6. You also skip the Oren dialogue, which is like another 5-ish seconds, so, and Titus just kind of exclaims, and you get to start bobbing the tanker. It's a really, really neat interaction. But yeah, it's one of those weird things that why does it exist? But it does, and we take a village.
Yeah. If Titus notices the tanker first, he just goes, and that's your lot. Whereas Oren has like 3 lines of dialogue that you need to go back and forth with. It's just a wonderful little bit of tech.
My old man?
Yeah, I can never understand how, unless there's a difference between PC and PS2, but I can never understand how I never noticed that Jack was actually standing there whenever I played this as a kid.
Nope, that's the same on PS2. I don't.
Yep.
I don't know how you didn't notice that either.
We never knew that it was Jack.
I replayed this an inhumane amount of times, and I didn't notice it once.
It's like we don't know what his model looked like anyway. And he was semi-transparent, to be fair.
Right, so NiGhTBoX has been plopped down in the sea. He's had a cheeky little bit of a swim.
Also, that sin scale fight was really bad.
It was 5 demi. It was fine. It could be worse than that.
No, the sin scale
the
for
tanker?
the tanker.
Yeah, those things are very.
Yeah, they just attacked.
Like minimal time loss, it's fine.
He just kept attacking.
No
here
ambush
we're
comes to
gonna
Haggins, which is nice.
Yeah, love that for us. We're gonna see some Sahagins, and Titus is gonna dispatch 2 of them pretty quickly. However, the 3rd one is gonna get eaten by a big ribcage monster called Geos.
Give me a nap.
That's so. There is a preemptive and an ambush system in this game. There is a 12.5% chance to be ambushed and a 12.5% chance to get a preemptive encounter on every random encounter, and then very, very few boss fights. This including one of them, and then also trots. This is the only fight in the game where it's bad to get a preemptive encounter. The only thing you ought to do is defend. All a preemptive will do is add more defense that you need to throw out.
Yeah, and inversely, it's weirdly the only encounter where an ambush is good because it saves the Titus action. Geo still gets the same amount, but yeah, you save a defend action, which is a very insignificant amount of time, but it still pretty fairly nice.
That was weird.
And first thing we're doing here,
That was the first.
we need to make a fire, so we need to grab the cheeky with the caves of flint. Go rest here, but oh no! A scary old monster has woken up. This fella's called Click.
Give me a break. There's no breaks here, Titus.
All we're really hoping for is for Titus to dodge and for Titus to crit. These things, to be fair, that's nice, are fairly, like, they're not going to happen a lot of the time. Titus critting is 9% for... Very nice. The Titus critting for a lot of the early game is 9% on a lot of things. You're not going to see it that much. If you do get it, you're more lucky. Here we're introduced to question mark, question mark, question mark. We won't beat him for that. Very nice. Here we're going to get introduced to the steal and use mechanic. The steal and use mechanic is very, 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 very powerful. We're going to use one just to inflict a little bit of early damage and then try and steal 2 back. The way that stealing works in this game is your first steal will always be 100%, and then your second will be halved, your third will be halved. So it'll be 50%, 25%, 12.5, 6.25, so on and so forth. We're only going to steal 2 for obvious reasons. If Riku dies here, it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, especially when you crit like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that attack. Just
game.
bear in mind when you're in the water, don't potion hold the boat. Go back, talk to this fella first. Now potion Riku, because Riku will be on 1 HP still. Cool.
I know. Just give
fantastic.
me a moment.
If you open the menu because of quirks on CSR, it can lead to some weirdness, so it's better to just open the menu once you're in the water. This here is chain screen. Ideally, what happens is you get a thing that we have come to call chain skip. We're very creative in the FF10 community. Chain skip just means that you skip the encounter here. It is completely luck-based. NiGhTBox's encounter threat was way too high. He was never going to avoid it.
The positive thing on that, though, is coming out of the click fight with only 3 grenades, the chain encounter is actually nearly seen as a positive, because at least then you're not relying on a 50-50 force fight coming up very shortly.
Yeah. NiGhTBox unfortunately missed the 50-50 there, so he still has 4 grenades. There is a, are you counting spheres, NiGhTBox?
Yeah. That's one sphere.
Okay, cool. I'll make those just in case. Yeah, we're gonna get a double forcing piranha encounter up here that we're gonna steal the rest of our grenades from. We only have 4, so we're gonna have to steal from it twice.
I need 19.
So it's not ideal, but the time loss gain from it isn't like the end of the world.
Okay, well got on. Normally we like to choose sphere there, but that
management.
is a nice little catch before going into the fight, or else that could have gone a bit dicey.
No, that's usually what I do.
Okay.
There's potion management.
And the rare, very very nice.
So you don't have to steal again. Very nice. And now what we're going to happen, and we can't predict RNG, so Riku's going to attack. Or steal. Okay, so we have an extra grenade for later.
I'm going to steal.
Okay, well, we have an extra... Oh, okay, so... what you can do, if you have an extra grenade, you can lob it at the piranhas. That means you'll get a... Titus will have more AP. That will matter later for a certain boss fight, potentially. But it gives you the chance of 4 speed spheres! We love that for us. Over the course of the run, we need 18 speed spheres. There is a chance those fish are very annoying and give you 0. They can just not drop anything and swim off all pedantically. We love the 4 speed spheres. Having 5 speed spheres already is like it's a nice little cushion to lean on. Okay, Kraken, you want to take us through the Tross fight?
So the simple enough fight here. We'll wait till we get into it. So preemptive.
Oh boy.
So what NiGhTBox is trying to do here is basically check to see if the first grenade is a low roll. It's not. So
Oh nah.
yeah. So basically, he's seen the preemptive and just made an educated guess that look, if it rolls it below 350, so 349 or below, Tross will actually use a normal attack or tentacles instead of swimming around, and something that can just save an extra Tross turn. But basically, you have to throw 6 grenades and at least 1 Titus attack, and 2 Titus attacks will guarantee that 6 grenades kills. What we really want to see is a crit save a grenade, and also if it's the last one, it gives us a little overkill, giving us some bonus powers and a little bit of bonus AP.
The AP in this game is very granular, so the amount that you get will almost always be consistent, but there's just 1 or 2 things early on that it can matter for. No nade crit, but again, getting crits in the early game is quite rare. You have to get like fairly lucky to just get a bunch.
I might fight some piranhas, but it might depend on how good the encounter is.
Okay, go for it. If you get 2 piranhas in Lagoon, you always kill them anyway. So. See all of the Albed below here. I think they're supposed to be fighting random encounters and fish, but we can't see that because we're not in their random encounter screen, so they're just kind of flinging their arms at nothing in particular.
That is a great little detail that I've actually never noticed before. And as soon as you said
really?
it, I just seen like an Albed swinging at nothing in the water. It's fantastic.
This is so nice. I've never not
Oh, Chris,
been
it's
the
your
least
line.
observant person in a room before, so this is a novelty to me. This is great.
Oi, got you that.
Boy, got you that. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've made that swim. I think it's probably in the last 2 years at least 500. And yeah, never noticed that.
Sorry, moving on. This is Lagoon. If you've ever ran or seen anyone do FF10 before, you will know this place is a little bit of a reset hell.
Oh my
That's
god.
a very early encounter. Ideally, what you want to happen is 2 piranha encounters, and they're both either... So that's really good. That's the best that can be. That's a 3 piranha encounter, which means that there's 3 different sets of piranhas, and you escape first try. The other good encounter to get is 2 piranhas, and you can kill them. But because of the victory fanfare and Waka and Titus celebrating their killing of fish, that's slower than first try escaping from 3 piranhas. So that's normally the one you want. There is a chance that we can get 3 levels before something. Well, you know. And ambush just means 3 attacks, but it's still a fine encounter.
If you're gonna get ambushed on the screen, this is honestly the ideal one. Just because it's 3 attacks versus well, more.
I did say that this game is testing me back then.
Yeah, I would say that you're normally not going to be favored to skip the encounter from where you got that last one to the end. You see NiGhTBoX is nowhere. Oh, it's the worst encounter.
Oh boy.
Okay, well we hate that for us. This is 7 guaranteed attacks. All of these fish will outspeed both Titus and Waka, and they'll all come in and do almost no damage whatsoever. Other than their only purpose is to be annoying. Okay,
Free overdrive though, am I right?
Yeah, it's so true.
Wow.
You don't want Waka failing to escape because he's quite slow, so sometimes the next time he gets to escape can be quite bad. Okay. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. And yeah, as I was saying, before that encounter happened, NiGhTBoX is going like veering to the left slightly. That is deliberate. There is an invisible wall to, like, if you go too far to the right and you can't transition through to the next screen. So the veering off to the left is very, very deliberate. Anyway, welcome to Besaid Island and Village, the land of 5 wonderful, wonderful tents and a huge temple. If you speedrun Final Fantasy X-2 and 10 at the same time, you'll probably at some point get confused here. I, in the past, have definitely speedrun 10-2, and the first thing I do is try and present myself to the temple summoner, who has known Yuna for, you know, the best part of 20 years at that point. NiGhTBoX is not encumbered by such thoughts, luckily. Goes to present himself to the temple summoner in the appropriate game. Then goes back to Waka, who says he's going to cook but doesn't, and then no one ever feeds Titus. He has to remain hungry for the rest of the run. He doesn't eat for ages.
Per fella. I'm trying to think. Other than on the boat, I don't think I can remember Titus getting fed at all.
No, he doesn't.
Maybe.
Is it any wonder he does so much yelling?
Exactly. He's just a little hungry at times.
All he wanted was to be fed. And he goes into this journey.
FF10, basically, there are several trials for each temple that present themselves through the game. To see it's relatively simple. It's touching a glyph here or there, and then you'll grab the glyph sphere here, put it in the door. They get slightly more complex as the game goes along, but there's some nice little movement things you can do throughout each of them just to optimize pathing and stuff like that.
But anyone who's done like 2 runs probably knows like a lot of the earlier trials just off by heart. Thankfully, Besaid, probably the best trial by virtue of being the shortest one.
The easiest.
Some of them later on is a bit finicky, and I know that there are a lot of people who really dislike the Bevel one. Mostly because you lose your own ability to move. Go on, Kraken.
Sorry, since I discovered this, that little bit of movement that NiGhTBoX did just really, really excites me. So if you take a nice sharp turn into touching the wall that disappears, you can hold up and it takes you directly to grab the Passade Sphere. And if you don't do it that way, you can just veer off to the left. It's a really, really simple piece. Doesn't save a whole lot of time. It's seconds, but it's just those little fine details like that. Yeah. When you run the game long enough, like I suppose the three of us have, it's the little things that got there that weirdly put a smile on your face, I suppose. Especially when you see somebody else implement them.
Right, do you have a name for Velfor?
Sure.
Okay. Not... Yeah, I mean, that is factually correct. Velfor isn't Titus.
Good.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
Where's that boat?
And then there we go.
Yeah. CSR is very jarring if you're not used to it, because it's a lot of very quick transitions through cutscenes. Do more than one run, and you realize it's really not that jarring at all. It's it just takes some getting used to initially.
Here comes. Hey, why don't you?
There's an overdrive in the say that we're not getting.
Yeah. Something we'll get into later. A skip was found in this game 2 or 3 years ago at this point. 3 years? It's a while, isn't it?
A fly.
I hate being old sometimes. Anyway, yeah.
Waka. And blind him.
Told you. If you can't beat him down, Madge, let's have our Luke.
Clueless, aren't? Spells of ice and ice fiends. I get fire and ice. Lightning and water are this one
the Condor is hard-coded to attack.
Snappiest menu in the game.
Condor is hard-coded to attack Waka, so if the Condor does outspeed, it will always attack Waka as a result. And because it's a tutorial, you're not supposed to attack with Titus, so Waka will actually reprimand Titus every time he tries to swing at the Condor, blissfully unaware that Waka is blind.
You guys like Matt?
Right, and then the Kimari fight. That's
never mind. Never
really, really good. Okay, so you're like -10 to finish in 5 hits, but basically you want to be doing an average of 125 damage if you don't crit over the course of 6. And if you 124 damage will no kill here. Very nice 5-hit Kimari. Love that. Yeah, Kimari has 750 HP, so you want to be doing an average of 125 damage over the course of 6 hits. And the way you'll count it is just if you do 121 damage, congratulations, you're now -4. You do 129, congratulations, you're back to 0. So on and so forth. Titus can die there very easily if he does, if he loads.
Why don't we let our son?
So.
Which has happened a lot of times.
Yeah, there will be occasionally a runner who's had like a bit of a bad start, and they're just a little bit further behind than they'd like to be, so they'll just swing and hope to high roll. And this is the summoning tutorial, where you get to find out one of the very, very unique things to Final Fantasy X. You get to summon instead of like one big attack like in the other Final Fantasies. The summon stays and just fights for you, like a really, really, really big Pokemon. We're going to be using Thunder specifically because Thunder is like fast, but it's either like 9 or 15 frames faster than the other spells. That isn't a lot. That's like half a second, and you lose time moving over from Fire to Thunder. But it has such a marginal time save that it is worth doing it. But yeah. 3 whole seconds saved though, we're just using fire, if you can imagine such a thing. Again, takes a little time to like select Thunder and then do it that way, but it is worth it. 6 Thunders will take the Garuda down. Haha, 1 AP off. Tragic. So now we're going to do a menu.
Yeah.
Before the encounter procs. Ooh, you got that close. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's one of my superstitions. I really cut it close here.
Ah, okay.
If I do the menu really close, they escape. It doesn't work usually.
Hey, I mean, it sounds insane to me, but it worked
no,
there,
my
didn't
superstition
it? It worked
happened.
there. Like, he got it really
It's a star
close.
roll.
They all escaped.
It's a star roll superstition.
And the point of the menu is to take Waka out of it, otherwise there's a tutorial where you're hard locked into Dark attacking Garuda instead. Tidus now has 3 levels, so we're going to zoop on over here to the left, and we're going to get +1 strength, but more importantly, cheer. Cheer is quite important. It raises... Oh, God. For years, I used to think that this worked somewhere, this worked in a different way, but it turns out that old speedrunners were wrong. But now I'm so old with Final Fantasy X speedrunning, I don't remember which one is right and which one is wrong. Kraken, you're lovely and new and youthful compared to me. What does cheer do? Specifically. It raises your strength, obviously, but how? Fantastic. Okay, cool. I'm going to ignore Kraken. I think every cheer upgrades or like adds like 1/16 to your strength total rounded up. I think, but that could be the wrong one, so take that with a rather generous amount of salt. The point is we're going to be cheering twice on Equiles, and it genuinely helps. It's a quicker rank attack. Attacks with a higher rank means that Tidus gets to go again rather promptly instead of like attacking, which will take longer. So 2 cheers and then attack it down. First, however, before Equiles, we have to fight this massive old sin thing. I'm going to be ignoring the sin scales, they'll just keep respawning aimlessly. However, before we summon, we will be summoning, we'll be thundering to round out some damage. There is a 1.8% chance that you can under damage and Veilfall dies and you have to finish it with an attack. Which means that Veilfall would need to charge Overdrive again and kill her. So, you know how it is with Marathon Luck. I just am gonna pay extra attention to the Overdrive roll. We're looking to see anything in the 1100s. That's almost certainly fine.
Pushing
it's almost certainly fine. 1066, 2227.
Yeah.
So we're like 39 above average.
I have to underroll 3 times.
Veilfall would have to seriously put in some poor rolls to under damage from here. So you're saying that you don't love the year 1066 because of the Battle of Hastings. Am I understanding that correctly? Ah, okay. We did see a tooth. 239 roll. So you can do 239. Yeah, no, you're completely fine. You're completely fine. You can do 239 3 times in a row, and you'd just about be safe. But another roll lower than that could have been a little scarier. What this fight helps us do, Veil 4 will still have overdrive and will retain that for the next boss fight. These things are very planned. Again, FF10 is a run with a lot of planning. Lots of things are done in advance. We're about to go into a place called Kilika, and in there we're going to pick up a chest, and we're going to forget about the contents of the chest for about an hour and a half where we'll use it. That's how far this speedrun thinks in advance. Right, so the 2 cheers now go out, and there's a quirk to this fight. If Titus crits once, or if Waka crits twice, you can overdrive and end the fight early. So we're mostly just looking out for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that Waka crit doesn't do anything, unfortunately, because Waka's next attack will come after Titus's next attack. So if we're going to have 2 crits, we needed them to have happened by now. So the only thing that Waka crit will... Hilarious. The only thing the first Waka crit will do is ensure that the overdrive kills if Equiles hit through darkness, which it didn't. Bada bing, bada boom, instead. Note there, both sides had sin scales to the side of Equiles, which dies. That means that you get 2 extra mana spheres, which genuinely can matter.
Nothing happened.
No. Yellow bangle and blue shield. They're... So what you really want to see from there is something called an ice brand.
One moment.
Which is...
Did the thing die?
I don't believe so. No, keep going. You're fine. Right. It's just... Sure. Yes, it's just... Yes, the quality's a little 50, but it's fine. No idea what I was saying. Kraken, please catch me up. You have a better memory than I. Yes. Yeah, early haste can really matter because when you in the next area you go to Luca and you have to kill a bunch of Markiner there at some point, and haste makes it go very, very fast. Another side effect of having a bunch of good kills in Kilika is you have a bunch of speed spheres. Congratulations, we learned what Lancet does. If you Lancet an enemy, some random enemies can teach Kimahri overdrives because he's the blue mage of this game. Unfortunately, Kimahri doesn't really have like a personality of his own in terms of how he works in combat. He is very much a jack of all trades and master of none, which means he's not very good. But he will be used in the speedrun. Fantastic. He can just finish. You can just equip Scout and then pause. Right? So... Get out of the menu and then pause. There we go. Pause. Alrighty.
All right, so there's be a little break at the moment, but I hope you guys are enjoying the speedrun so far. I myself am learning a lot of things about the game that I didn't know about before, so that's pretty cool. But for now, let me talk to you about one of our partners, Ikigai Arcade. So Ikigai Arcade is Pittsburgh premier rhythm game and esports center. So their goal is to help gamers find purpose in life through the joy of video games. So they're pretty awesome. So like I said, they're Pittsburgh based. They're open nearly every day of the week. They are closed on Mondays, but on Tuesdays they have hourly play, which is pretty awesome. You can also book machines for private use, you know, for tournaments, for parties, for whatever you can think of that you can do with a game. I'm sure lots of really fun stuff. So recommend going to check them out. They're at Ikigai Arcade. Ikigai is spelled Ikigai and then arcade. I hope you know how to spell arcade. You know, I'll just do it for you anyways. ARCADE. So you can go check them out to learn more about them. Heck yeah. Alrighty. But the the speedrun so far looking pretty good. We're at Kilika Island. Fun stuff. We made our, you know, bunch more of our main party members. Lulu, I said Riku's my favorite. Lulu's pretty awesome too. So actually it'll be like a toss-up between the two of them in terms of you know, best character. Honestly, those female characters in this game are all pretty awesome. And honestly, if I could rock a belt dress, I totally would. Because yeah, that dress is fire. So while we're on this break, by the way, this is an RPG, a JRPG. It is gonna be long, even though we are speedrunning. It's still gonna be long, so make sure y'all hydrate, get some snacks. I myself lately have had these little protein like Pop-Tarts essentially from Costco. Those have been really good. They're essentially like Pop-Tarts, you know, but they're probably like less sweet than normal Pop-Tarts, but I'd say they're still pretty good. They got like strawberry and brown sugar flavors. And of course Costco, oh gosh, if you have a Costco membership, just be careful. You go in thinking you're gonna buy some stuff and you end up buying twice the amount that you expected to buy. But Costco, I love Costco. And yeah, it's so bizarre seeing the no cutscenes in Final Fantasy, because something happens and suddenly you're in a whole brand new location. I'm just like, what? It's been a while since I played Final Fantasy, so I'm just going, what happened in this? Like, what happened in between? I have to remember what happened in between. But no, it's pretty good. Just seeing the zoom by and the having to escape from the random encounters. I always thought that was funny. They're just like, yeah, it's ready to fight, and then everyone just like zooms away. It's like, yeah, no thanks. Yeah. Oh, and thank you for getting that comment up for Ikigai. Yes, for sure. Go check that out. Rhythm games. My funny enough, my favorite rhythm game is Beat Saber. So, some places they'll have some VR stuff to do Beat Saber. That's one of my favorites to do. I like that I can use my whole body into it. Really helped develop my rhythm and all that good stuff. Because I do some dancing, and I actually really do credit Beat Saber for helping me like follow rhythms and beats and all that. Typically with other rhythm games, my brain can't really catch up like head to head or head to fingers or started. Yeah, I mean, you know, I did the beginner modes, and that's pretty much the best I can do. Oh, JD. He likes to tease saying they've been dancing forever, even though it's only been like a few years. But yeah, the Beat Saber's awesome, and it's pretty cool that there's a bunch of custom maps that people make for that as well. Don't listen to JD. Yeah, and there is a poll up for the best female Final Fantasy X character. See, we got Yuna in the lead so far. Yeah, Yuna, I mean, super awesome. I mean, and the summons, yeah, it was mentioned earlier, just like how different the summons are in this game versus the other Final Fantasy games, and it really is cool that you just have this control over pretty awesome creatures. I think we just have Velafor right now, but honestly, like Ifrit's really cool, Shiva's really cool, and let me see. When I play, I know that there's like one where it's like 3 bug-like characters, but I never got them. that was I know there's a bunch of steps to getting those. Those are always pretty tough. Someone answered someone else in the poll. If that person wants to mention, say who someone else would be. I'm trying to think of the other female characters in Final Fantasy X. Like I said, it's been a while. But yeah, trying to figure out. I feel like the only one I can think of is like Friends. Friends. Like, but my memory, I mean, like I said, I get squirrel brain sometimes, so my memory's not the best. I've got acorns hidden all over my city, and I don't remember where I put them all. So they'll get to enjoy some trees in about, I don't know, 10, 20 years. How long does it take to grow a tree? But yeah, so we got some love for Riku. We got one for Lulu. That's awesome. I also always enjoyed the Lulu dolls that she carries. Normally those are the typically weak, right? Because Lulu's supposed to be a magic user. But I remember watching my friend when he played, and he was end game. How he could just send the doll forward and he creeps in on the guy, and there's a little tap and it does like 9,999 damage. I always thought that was hilarious. It's like a little itty bitty doll, just able to one tap like giant creatures. And but I know that the Final Fantasy X typically has a damage cap, but then there's like ways to further the damage cap. So just would not want to touch the little doll things. I know one of the dolls she has is a cactar. I remember having a cactar little plush and sort of pretending that I was like Lulu. You just go up to a friend and just be like, attack, and just throw the cactar doll at my friend. It's like, yep. Critical damage. No, they just get annoyed at me. I meant to vote for Lulu. That's alright. But it's the extra love for Lulu there. But the ultimate winner of the poll, Yuna. Yes. Super awesome Yuna for sure. My favorite thing with Yuna is the dance. If you know, you know, right? The dance that happened. I think at this point everyone should know, because this game's been out for quite a long time. Have you ever seen the I guess it's a meme, or just like the picture where it's like what everyone thinks Final Fantasy was like 20 years ago, and it's like Final Fantasy like 1 or 2, and then there's like what Final Fantasy actually was 20 years ago, and it's freaking Final Fantasy X. It's like, oh god. It's been that long. But yeah, I think a lot of people know about like Yuna's dancing. That was another, and that's another iconic moment for sure. Like the Final Fantasy X for sure is like a, I guess like a game changer when it comes to video game history. So that's always pretty awesome. People die. Unit dancing. I mean, just imagine like people died and starts crunking. There should be someone who makes some sort of animation edit that. Like yeah, that's how they send the spirits over to, I forget where it's called, but do some crunking, maybe some shuffling. Shuffling on the water or something. But who do you know is this diverse with dancing? Oh. Yeah, so gosh, now that heckin' scene is gonna be in my head, just some sort of SFM video things. You know, yeah. Right. Solemn funeral. And then she's like, yeah, let's get down. Makings of a Shakespearean masterpiece, yes. Okay, yes, so we are back now with NiGhTBox's run of Final Fantasy X, cutscenes removed, TrueRNG, any percentage, along with commentators Chris and Kraken. Let's go.
Bonsoir encore. I believe we're back in the room. I believe
Yeah,
we're back
I
to
think.
being live, and the internet should now be magical and working.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Zoop. And just like that, we're speedrunning FF10 again. Hit us, Kraken.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
I mean, potentially, but we should probably talk about Kilika first. Lamau, under damage.
Anyone thirsty?
There are lots of encounters through here. This is pretty much the only place throughout the entire run that we would be going out of our way to kill anything extra asterisk. There is something else later on. But in the early game, this is as much as we're going to be doing. We want to get Titus to 5 levels, if possible, but as little as like 3.5, 3 3/4 can also work. Come on. There we go. So that time we saw an overkill. Waka has a chance to do 164 or less, 160 to 164 damage to that B. If that's what he does, you don't get the overkill and you lose some AP. In the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't matter, but it's quite annoying when it does, considering he can also roll anywhere between 165, which will secure the overkill, to 180. And just like that, because of the speediness of Final Fantasy X in the cutscene remover, we're now doing Sinspawn Jeannot, a French word, and most people just kind of get confused when there are that many vowels and an X on the end of a word. It's completely understandable. This one used to be a little different. Jeannot. Yeah, I've heard every pronunciation. This fight used to be a little bit different when we picked up Energy Blast in Besaid, but turns out it's quicker to do this. We'll be opening with Energy Ray that will kill both of the tentacles to either side, and also get it out of the shell. It will attack us a few times and then we'll fire it 3 times, by which time we'll have Overdrive again, and then we can just Energy Ray again. And that is unfortunately the last you'll see of not Titus. Asterisk again. You'll see another version, but just not this one. Back to Overdrive. How many things did you kill on the way in? You didn't overkill anything in the first encounters, that's 3.
We got 1 overkill.
And then 6. Yes, 6, right. The other one, the second one. Something to look out for at the end of that fight. We got a Bright Shield, which is unfortunate. Weapons are worth more, and we do want weapons that are worth more if we can find them. Bright Shield. Unlucky. You can also get 6 Power Spheres as a rare drop instead of 4, but we got 4, so no extra powers, no shenanigans or anything like that.
Lord,
Lord.
Sorry, I was I missed it. Did we see a darkness weapon? I know we didn't get the bonus powers, but
We got Bright Shield.
Ah, okay, perfect.
Yeah. Tragically, no weapon, no weapon drop from that. And the second
we are the trial number 2?
Trials, yes. Oh. This one is like one of my favorites, I think. I know I kind of said in jest earlier on that Besaid was my favorite because it's the shortest. But you get to burn doors down here. Look at this. goes
And
up.
this is
in, like,
probably the
flames.
glitchiest cloister of all.
So it is glitchiest in the sense that it has one glitch in it, which is quite rare for Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X is an unbelievably well-made game. Now, a lot of times when speedrunners say things like that, they're joking or saying it sarcastically. I'm not. It's a genuinely really, really well, sturdy made game. It doesn't have many weird things happen in it. This is one of the few oddities. NiGhTBoX has this Killiker sphere. He's gonna put it in here and then interact with the pedestal. For some reason, this pedestal and this pedestal alone, you don't have to interact with from the front. You can interact with it from behind, from the left, from the right, wherever really. That's the glitch. As I said, Final Fantasy X is a very well-made game. So outside of the skips, which are admittedly quite major at points, there's nothing crazy. It's very much playing the game straight up and taking advantage of how cool the sphere grid system can be at times.
Little thing to note on this as far as like the timing of the burning doors. The first door you can go by the visual cue. The second door, for whatever reason, it's a slight delay before you can take the sphere out. So if you're holding turbo, you actually have to like just basically don't and time your input. Again, one of those weird things where it's not really sure why the difference is there, but it is.
Shout outs to Seraph. Most of you watching won't know who Seraph was because he retired from speedrunning like 7 years ago. but yeah, we now got a Seraph. It's a count. So again, we're going to be hoping for Waka not to underdamage
I can take
it.
care of those alone, huh? Yeah.
Love that overkill for us. Love that overkill. Okay, we're starting to rack up some kills. NiGhTBoX got a luck sphere on the way in from a detour, so we don't need that on the way out. So with a bit of luck, we'll only get 3 encounters on the way out, but we are still almost always favored to get 4 anyway. Especially with the encounters being... We're definitely going to be fine on mana spheres now. Those unlucky. We're definitely going to be fine on mana spheres now. That can sometimes be an issue if you don't kill enough elements, but with 4 sin scales dying around equiles, I think we only needed 1 extra over the course of the run, and now we have 3 or 4 extra at this point.
Yeah, I think we need 8 in total, which doesn't sound like an awful lot, but yeah, and it's something very few people actually keep track of, so it can really catch you out later in the run. So killing elements is slow, but it's actually a little nice of to have to make sure that it doesn't come to shock you later on.
Yeah, love the crit. You do have a fair amount of AP. I think you have I think you have 4 and 38 at the end of the last course, but I didn't quite catch it. You are 4 and 9. So if you do the early menu now, you can use haste for the second Marketer encounter, which I would recommend doing. So here, you're going to get this Power Sphere, but more importantly, we're going to get this Mana Sphere, which gives Tidus 20 MP. We're going to leave Killiker and go on the way to Luca. We'll get a free heal. What getting that MP Sphere early matters for is Tidus's max MP will go from 12 to 32. There are no save spheres unless you go back and be really slow once the Marketer fights start. Haste, which is the next ability the NiGhTBoX is going to get, is 8 MP. Each one of those Marketer that we're going to be killing in Luca will drop 7 AP. So after the first encounter, we'll immediately have haste. There's then a 2 Marketer fight, a 6 Marketer fight, and a Blitzerator. Doing that menu there means that we can use haste on that second fight as well as the third. Not have to touch the save sphere in between, and then go straight through to a Blitzerator.
Oh, no.
Welcome to Jet Shot. You are supposed to get this.
I can't get it.
Did you miss it?
Oh, that's
I couldn't get it.
That's unfortunate. Okay, so that is going to be a little bit of time loss. except it's not going to be time loss at all. Getting jet shot means that you get an extra cutscene in the run, and it's genuinely like a minute longer to get jet shot. It's really slow. The CSR doesn't have a point to land if you unlock jet shot, so it will just crash. It will just crash the desktop and not tell you why. So not getting jet shot is good here, if you can imagine such a thing. Once you learn Blitzball and it becomes less daunting, you'll understand that jet shot isn't like, it is good, but it's not like that good, really. You can bait defenders out and then pass to Titus will be like wide open. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, so again, just jumping from scene to scene, missing Beer and Yankee there, and we're just going to make our way down, and a couple seconds will be in the Machina rush. So I suppose with doing the menu the way it was done, we'll get to actually see what fight, well, at least one of the fights is like without having had haste. It's not that much different. It's just a couple of defense rather than the haste.
The stores in the state.
First of all, we're going to speak to Awaka. We used to give him Guild, but we don't need to do that anymore because, unfortunately, we don't get to Mushroom Rock Roads, get Sentry. We're going to sell all of our weapons and hopefully have enough money, which we do, to buy a Stunning Steel. What Stunning Steel has is Slow Touch on it. Slow Touch, specifically, isn't Slow Strike. So Slow Touch means that it has a 50 in 101 chance to apply the status that is imbued upon it, which is slow in this case. We're going to use that for one boss fight later on, and whether Flow hits first time can be a big swing in your run. And if you've ran TrueRNG a lot, you'll understand you can't manip things. Extractor becomes a little bit of a source of frustration. The best you can get is first try, but the worst you can get is you can just keep missing 50-50s over and over and over, and you lose so much time on Extractors, it simply will never be slowed. It's tragic. We just saw Titus got an extra level there, so you can move to haste. Oh, okay, so it's fine. You can just do so after this battle. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You can just do so after this battle. It's still good because you don't have to go to the save sphere in between the third Machina fight and the Beast Raider.
Yeah, the main saving point for haste is probably the third fight anyway. So again, this is just a couple of extra defense. It's not too bad. You'll see how quickly the third fight goes, and once you see that, we could potentially explain as to what you have to do when you don't have haste. It's a lot busier.
Yeah. Thankfully, with haste, you just thunder everything down and then walk off into the sunset. Something I am also looking out for, there is a very rare chance that one of these Machina can drop thunder weapons. They can matter. There is a boss later on who is weak to thunder weapons. And it will just straight up do 50% more damage. Also, after Blitzball, you have to kill 17 Sahagins, and a Thunder Ball can matter there, but a Thunder Ball is a very, very rare drop. So anyway, look at that. Hasting, we're hoping Lulu outspeeds one. Very nice. The Machina, once Lulu has been hasted, can still both outspeed Lulu, but as long as she outspeeds one of them, it's speedy. This is the fight. She's very, very fast and just calling thunder from the skies like she's LARPing as Thor. That's fine. You can attack to like make that up now and just kill it. Yeah, there you go. Without haste on Lulu, Titus and Kimari will actually kill one Machina, and Lulu will thunder down the other in waves 1 and 3. I do a Lancet strat to make sure, but it's a different conversation. We don't need to be talking about my revolutionary strats that everybody should be copying. But yeah, it's a bit busier. You need a crit. If you don't get a crit, Kimari can like Seed Cannon to make up some damage. Anyway.
Yep.
Didn't have to do that. Take us through a bit.
I'm on attack.
Hey!
So, yeah. And you can see Titus will hit Lulu. And yeah, so instead of thundering the Blitzer, you thunder the Machina arm here, or the claw. And 3 thunders basically will power it up, and then Titus has the command feature where he can use the crane, and we'll see the Blitzer will just get picked up from the sky until his little Blitzball dispensers just fall right off, and it does quite a lot of damage.
Yes.
That is why I always make sure that Lulu is full HP.
Yeah, if you get really unlucky, who the Blitzballs hit, they will hit your party 12 times, but they won't hit every single party member 4 times. Sometimes they can hit Titus once, Kimari once, and Lulu 10 times, and she dies from 300 HP, and you get to be sad about life. It's wonderful. Yeah, falls down. We're about to see the number. Bang, there we go, 5,625. The game really wants you to do this. If you just physically attack or cast magic on a Blitzerator without taking this crane route, there's a 50-50 chance that it will blind you if you try and physically attack.
Metal Bangle hype!
I mean hype, yes. There's a 50-50 chance that it will blind you if you physically attack, or mute you or silence you, as some other people may know it, if you cast magic on it instead. It really, really wants you to use the crane. Enjoy the gimmick. Anyway, Blitzball! Every speedrunner's help. Good runners of FF10, including NiGhTBoX, will win most games of Blitzball. The bad thing about Blitzball is sometimes the goers get the ball. Not like now. We love to see Letty get the ball. Sometimes the goers will get the ball, and you just kind of have to wait for them to do a bunch of stuff first. However, luckily, we got the ball. So what we'll be doing is giving the ball immediately to Titus. We won't be scoring yet. What we need to do is to get Titus to level 3 so he can finally use Fear Shot, which he knows by default. We'll then... One action of anything, shooting, passing, anything, will get him to level 3. He just needs to take the tiniest, tiniest little action. We're then passing the ball to Jasu. That's not because he's nearest, it is convenient that he is. But the reason you pass the ball to Jasu is because he's faster than any other person currently in this sphere. I'm not joking. His speed stat means that no one can ever catch him. It's not fast enough to get away from the people pursuing him, but they won't ever be able to catch him. Grav, later on...
If you move right, if you move correctly. Like,
if you move correctly, but...
If you wiggle, like, too much, the goers will catch you.
Yeah. But for the most part, stay in straight lines and just, like, turn fully, you'll be fine. In the first half, this isn't a problem, almost all the time. In the second half, Graf can have levels. He can have a thing called, I wish I remembered what it was called. Elite Defense.
Elite Defense, yep.
Elite Defense, thank you. Oh, remembered it first time. Look at me go. He has sometimes a semi-functioning memory. Elite Defense means that his cone of vision, or it's kind of in front of him, he can't really see behind him, but he can see most of the things in front of him, is much, much further extended. So right now we're hiding behind the goalkeeper, who is still very intently trying to save everything, unaware that Jasu is behind him. First half we're safe. In the second half, Grav, from where he is, he's the little middle one in between the two forwards, he can still see Jasu. Even if he's behind the goalkeeper, we need to be wary of that. It's why being Jasu helps. Also, Kraken, little pop quiz for you, and I suspect you may know the answer to this. Do you know Jasu's exact speed stat?
It is a whole 1 speed more than everybody else. It is 60.
Do you know the exact number?
It's 61, no?
It's not 61. Does begin with a 6 though.
Oh, is it more than 1? Oh, there you go. Today I learned. You're just exposing my actual Final Fantasy X knowledge here, Chris.
I thought Gammy would have told you this at some point. It's 69.
The goers are just...
Oh, his speed stat. It's 69.
There you go. I genuinely didn't think it was much of a difference, is that? The base stat being 60.
Normally, for safety, I would try to score on the first half, but the goers really didn't give me a chance, so it's whatever.
Okay, love that again.
Beautiful.
Love Letty getting the ball.
Oh crap.
That's fine. No one is near Botta, so you can still just pass the ball to Justin, and it's fine. The only thing is Avis might get you, so you might need to like go down right and around him instead of just straight down.
Move.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Yeah, he's cool. It's like the left forward is quite forward, so you're not going to be able to go back because Avis is going to swim forward. So you need to wait for him to go and now go into position.
Yeah, so they're the blissful sphere is weird in that there's just a couple of pockets where the goers
you'll find that. You'll find
don't have vision. Yeah,
you'll find that.
So yeah, so basically like it looks kind of dicey where like you'll see Avis swim by or whatever else, but he just straight up weirdly can't see you in certain positions, so you just camp out there until you run the clock down a little bit, and then score before the goers have a chance to do anything else.
Exactly. It's a very specific point. Also, the goers change formation every 30 seconds. So we're mostly just looking out to see, because their last formation changed before we try and score, because at 3:01 or 3:02, Waka will come in instead. So we want to make our move in their 2-minute formation. There is a thing that they can do called triangle formation. It's very mean. This isn't that. We're going to be very safe here. Titus is going to swim. Going to shoot now. There we go. Completely uncontested. There is this thing you can do where you shoot it to 50. NiGhTBoX isn't going to be doing this because he just wants to make sure that the goal goes in. No shenanigans, no nonsense. But this scoreboard, like ticking over and the little subtitle that appears, if you score when Waka comes in at 3:01 or 3:02, it will skip that. It saves a massive, colossal, like
30 seconds.
Not even. It's like 8 seconds. It's not much at all. It skips the blitz off and it skips the scoreboard ticking over. So I guess it's something like 12 seconds. But I know it's not much. Triple Letty?
Oh boy.
It's a shame. Okay, so now Grav gets the ball, so we're going to showcase what happens. We're going to change immediately to mark mode, so Waka and Datto don't immediately come to defend. We don't want that. Okay, so Grav is going to be shooting from halfway. This can go in, because I believe this shot can get to the goal with 3 shots. No, 2 shots, so it can't go in, that's fine. The way that stats work is they can swing perfect. Stats work is they can swing 1.5 times either way. So something which is 8... Yeah, just keep dribbling. Something which is 8 can either roll 4 or 12.
Oh boy.
That's fine. Just pass over. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, sure. Just go pass.
Shenanigans.
Okay.
Comments.
Palgeda getting the ball is the end.
We're doing okay.
Lamau. Okay. Good luck.
All right.
Cool. So now now the ball's just back with Jurassic, and you should be safe. Just keep something.
Yeah, there'll be some weird, strange instances where
he's sorry.
Bulgerda will get the ball after, say, like a goer's failed pass or this, that, or the other. You could do some weird shenanigans. You go like mark mode to let her get closer to Jasu. It's there's not a lot. Mostly like Chris said at the start of it. Most of the time, Blitzball is in your control. Most runners will mostly win, but there is a little bit of luck involved as well. Sometimes the game just decides it's not your day. Thankfully, that didn't happen here.
Yeah, the reason why winning is so important is you get a strength sphere. 4 strength can matter like hugely for the route. Nice immediate crit as well. Also, just a little side note: the reason we cheered when Keeper passed the ball, we can't control who Keeper passes the ball to. So sometimes he'll just screw you and pass to completely like someone who is in double coverage, and there's nothing you can do about it other than just accept that this is your life now. He didn't do that. He threw it to the best possible person. This is now Sahagins. Titus has hasted himself. Titus will kill 15 of these Sahagins. Waka will kill 2. After a certain point, he'll just be defending because his turns are better spent defending instead of like his really slow attacks. We're also going to kill some very specific Sahagins. You notice there that the NiGhTBoX targeted Sahagin B instead of the right one. The reason he did that is to skip its attack. The same thing will happen here. Here's a fun interaction in CSR, but we're still unsure why it happens. More Sahagins will come in, far edge of the screen. Noom! Sahagin D flies in. Don't know why that happens. It just does. It's my favorite thing. It also, probably because of how speedy it is, gets to go before anyone else. So we have to kill that one before anyone else. And now it doesn't matter the order we kill them in. It's just as they come. Something we also may be looking out for, whether Titus is going to be above 300 HP. Because we're about to fight Garuda. Oh my god, you're getting every power sphere known to man.
Yeah.
We want Titus to have more than 300 HP so it can survive Garuda. So he can survive 2 Garuda attacks. Okay. Cheeky bit of safety. You are so fun. You are fine for every single power check. You can give Walker strength before the extractor if you really want.
If you magically had enough AP, you could give them strength twice.
Yeah.
That was. Go on ahead. Sorry.
No. By all means, go.
Right. So this is our introduction to Ornn. Doesn't explain why, but yeah, it appears that is an armored fiend to begin with. So Ornn is the only one that can actually one-tap it. Here we're against Garuda. So Garuda will usually die at about 6 sword attacks plus the Titus attack. It is even safer because NiGhTBoX has left Brotherhood equipped. What we really want to see here is Ornn crits, because that just makes it that little bit more secure.
Oh, crap.
Normally, you want that to be your last attack so that you get a bonus power. We don't need to worry about that here because Titus crit a billion Sahagins.
Yeah. You still have to attack with Titus, otherwise you can under damage because Walker does less damage than Titus. But because you high potion Titus, it doesn't matter. You can just swing again. But just make sure you get like another Titus attack and another Walker attack. Or that too. Yeah, so like casually the game really wants you to dark attack here. However, like if we can avoid it, we will not dark attack Garuda. The reason we won't dark attack Garuda is we want Garuda to do as much damage to us as possible. If Titus and Walker die, that doesn't matter 99% of the time. What taking all of the damage matters for is overdrive buildup. We are going to be using Titus. Almost everyone, we can use Walker's overdrive and extractor. It'll vary on the situation, but we 100% need Titus's overdrive and we 100% need Ornn's overdrive. And if you dark attack Garuda off the bat, you lose so much overdrive buildup. So even though you only need Ornn's overdrive in Bicanel and we're in Luca, if you get lucky enough with encounters, you just simply won't have it.
Or unlucky.
Yeah, so tanking a bunch of damage there is fine.
You can charge your overdrive as early as me and High Road, depending on how unlucky your encounters are.
It can happen in a bunch of different places. Right.
Yeah,
one of the true joys of the CSR that we'll forget about because we're speedrunners. Ha! What whistle and laughing cutscene? I don't know what you mean. We're already past it. We've moved on. Wonderful. I love it. One of my favorite changes. I've speedrun this game for the best part of 10 years. I am more than happy to not see that.
It's awesome.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, so a little thing that can happen here is, which NiGhTBoX call on to, is if you don't attack Garuda with Titus, Titus is still on haste from the start of the fight, and if you just don't pay attention, you can just continually turbo, and you will just hear the and it's you think it would wake you up, it doesn't.
35 power spheres. Oh, so good.
I despise you doing this HP thing early because it means I need to shout out MT now. Alright, so MT came up with a strat. So there's again, Final Fantasy X is a game of lots of little quirks. There are wolves along Mihen. The wolves have a 50% chance of attacking the lowest current HP character, and then 16.6% chance, 16.7% chance of recurring to just attack any one of the party members. Tidus, without that HP, will always be the lowest current HP character at 520. Waka has 618. Auron has 1030. Yes, go ahead. Just to make sure.
I'll be right back.
A brain fade. What getting that extra HP node will do means that will mean that Waka is now the lowest current HP, so he is infinitely more likely to be a target of the wolves. That means you have to heal less. Yeah, it means you have to heal less because Waka being at like the lowest HP doesn't really matter compared to Tidus being at the lowest current HP, because we'll be fleeing everything.
All right, this is a marathon.
So long.
I can do this. I can do this.
Oh, no.
Second little bonus to that as well is
I won't go so easy on you
basically
next time.
the jewel horns can one-hit Tidus if they gore. They can no longer do that thanks to that little bit of HP. So it's a very much a nice thing.
And the person who started trying to rally people to try and do it was MT Banger. And he has wonderful ideas, and 10% of them are make it to the speedrun. But that's one of those. The thing is like the situation under which Tidus will get enough AP to be able to grid that HP node are quite slim. You need a very good killer.
Don't break any bones, old man.
To survive Garuda, but because it's a marathon, NiGhTBoX went out of his way to make sure that Tidus did. So far, this is fine, though. You'll find the more you do runs of Final Fantasy X, the roads are what just lose you a ton of time.
Yeah.
Just through ambushes.
Hey, I'm a guardian
What
now,
we're looking
so
for
watch
is
out.
just no ambush.
I'll be right back.
Preemptives are kind of overrated, at least now. They can guarantee that Tidus gets the first turn, but a lot of the time he will be getting the first turn anyway. Sometimes he can outspeed the wolf, sometimes he won't. Sometimes he'll outspeed the jewel horn here that we see on the right, sometimes he won't.
Live and let live.
Yeah, and because the extra HP was gotten, the game has so far decided to mock us. And that is outsped on every single encounter. But we will love that regardless because it's just fast.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
First ambush. And what Kraken was alluding to earlier when he said that there's another benefit, the jewel horns have an attack called Gore. The Gore can sometimes do enough to one-shot Tidus from full HP, from 520. It can do as low as like 500 flat, but it can do as high as like 545. Gritting the extra HP means that he's not just going to die to a Gore, he needs something else. 600 gil, that's fine. You needed the 600 gil for, I don't know, probably something.
Live and let live.
Auron is now on 1 HP, but you only have one encounter left.
Which isn't really that important anymore.
Just worry about an ambush and a status effect. Now you're fine. These lads can't outspeed. The only lads who can outspeed
I'll be right back.
Wolves and jewel horns. So all in all, not a bad Mihen.
I got an encounter on the transition screen. What the fuck?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a marathon, so we're just happy to see no shenanigans. Do you know how many speed spheres you have total?
If you don't, I've been keeping track.
Okay, I mean, I didn't mean just check.
15.
But okay, so you're missing 2 speed spheres. 2? 1.
3.
No, he's
And that's just what I missed.
Tidus menu. He's used 2 on the Tidus menu. He's 15.
Oh, then we're... Yeah, okay. I must have missed the drop. Well, it's a good job it wasn't my sole role to keep track of the speed spheres then.
Yeah.
So... Oh god.
Oh crap.
So,
so you can still do this, but you're going to need to change to the fire weapons you don't have and knock it down.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a shame.
I think everybody can agree that the acting there wasn't superb, particularly from myself. But yeah, so really weird fight. It looks like, if you haven't seen Final Fantasy X speedrunning before, it looks like you immediately make a targeting error. The reality of it is, the fastest way to get through that screen is to just haste the Chalky as quickly as humanly
This
possible.
guy loves Oren for some reason.
Hey, we'd prefer the loving of Oren. But go on, Pat.
Yeah, so basically
How much
you
further
have...
do we have to go? I won't go
Chalky
so easy on you
has
next time.
3 potential moves. It can just attack, it can point and say you're next, in which case it will do a follow-up attack with a lot more damage, or it can push. So the quicker we can have it take actions, the quicker we can be pushed off the cliff and get ourselves down here to take the old road, which, whilst the old road has encounters, the time it would take to kill the Chocobo Eater is just so much more. That,
I'll be right back.
This is the fastest way to do it.
And now we're just having a nice little casual stroll along Old Road. Yeah, forgive me if this sounds reminiscent of something I've already said, but for the most part we're just hoping not to get ambushed again. That will be the case for quite a while, until the end of Makalani. With the old route, we used to go, and this is about to be relevant, we used to do Mushroom Rock Road and kill Gooey, but just before Gooey you can buy a Sentry which has initiative on it, which means you can't get ambushed. Nowadays, a fella called Terra21 found a skip which means you skip Mushroom Rock Road entirely, but you miss out on the weapon that prevents ambushes, so some scarier ones in Thunder Plains can still kind of get you for a bit. The legend of Terra Skip, or Mushroom Rock Road Skip, goes like this. I was streaming some random runs in 2023.
Out of my way!
And someone I knew from a while ago showed up and goes, hey, I found a way to skip Mushroom Rock Road. Is this a thing that's known? I'm like, okay, that's a kind of crazy thing to just like, say. Can you send me a video on how this works? Sends it across, I take a look at it. I'm like, oh my god, I think this is real. I think this works. You've essentially just soft reset every single leaderboard, because every single leaderboard now in CSR has 5 minutes-ish of time save, and the cutscenes runs have just under 20 minutes of just free time save, because you don't have to do Mushroom Rock Road anymore. The way this works in cutscenes is different. I'll explain how it works in CSR. We reset the screen to simulate how it would work in cutscenes, and then line up Tidus in a very specific pattern. He's now, his back is facing an invisible wall, and this soldier's going to run up, and we're going to use him to what Final Fantasy called paralysis dodge through. So, as it's talking, it's going to push us through the invisible wall. Perfect. Now, the legend goes there is a runner called Rooster who did this years ago. He got past that first bit, realizing it was a thing, but you're still surrounded by invisible walls. This game is very solidly made. It's very, very well made. So in front of NiGhTBoX right now, there's an invisible wall to the right, to behind him, to the left. There are invisible walls everywhere. Rooster at this point gave up and went, oh well, that doesn't work. What he didn't anticipate is the NPC runs all the way up, all the way back down, and then comes full circle back at you. So you can use him to push you through another invisible wall, which gets you to the other side. Let's just hope this works. Looking good, yeah. Looking good.
We're out.
One or two more, I think. Yeah, you'll find out. There you go. And just like that, we're through 2 invisible walls. They're not even layered in the way that they are made.
Live and let live.
There are like little crevices everywhere in the invisible walls. It's not just 2 walls. There's like a bunch of different pockets, a bunch of different holes. We just push ourselves through 2 very specific walls. There's,
as much as I
something
want
called-
to say that we are safe, we are not yet safe until we get out of Mushroom Rock Road.
Yeah. But if there was a Dr. Swellman video, and if you've ever seen it, you've seen a clip in that video of me losing my mind as I did it for the first time. I went, oh my god, it works and it's easy. Oh, like, everything is different. I was like a child who'd been handed like £100 voucher for just
I won't go so
chocolate.
easy on you
I'm
next
like,
time.
oh my god. I'm spoiled for choice. It's my Christmas all at once.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah,
yeah.
the issue with Mushroom Rock Road skip, if you get an ambush like the dual horns encounter and you just die, you have to do Mushroom Rock Road skip again. So it's like it's kinda a three-parter in a way. It's like doing the skip and surviving to get the skip.
Yeah.
Little CSR to cutscenes difference there is in CSR you can tuck underneath that arch because you instantly transition to the next screen. In cutscenes, Titus likes to go for a little walk towards the middle, so you actually want to be further right to reduce the white path. Sorry, I just spoke through probably the most important part of this particular road. So later on in the run, we will very much need that petrifying breath or stone breath that Kamara just picked up. Getting it out of the road in the first encounter is very, very nice, because on the back half there is an
Does Wappa
additional
have
2
overdrive now?
formations. I don't believe so, NiGhTBoX.
I don't think I can use like 75%.
But yeah, so on the first half of the screen, and I'm not sure the exact numbers, but I want to say there's 6 different formations that can happen. On the back half, that turns to 8. So getting on the first half just means there's a lot less sweating to be done towards the end of the road. Thankfully the game taught us how Kamari Lancet worked earlier on, so we were able to avail of it to pick up the stone breath here, which we'll use on a couple of different occasions. One on the
Ooh,
boss
that's a
and one
good
on
push.
Yeah, it's a punchy push. There's a skip you can do here called Jose skip. No human has ever got it, and the TAS, even the TAS has to... There was like a very, very old TAS that had to reset a bunch just to even get it once. The idea is that you get pushed by the chocobo for long enough, and then there's a monk that prays at you as you pass him. You speak to him at the same time the chocobo is pushing you, and then ideally the chocobo pushes you all the way into the trigger. However, the cutscene trigger is about 300 gazillion bajillion light years away. There was one time where I got pushed a mile, and I was like, oh my god, I think I just got really close to doing Jose skip. I was just about halfway. I was absolutely nowhere near, and I'd gotten further than anyone had seen before. It's practically impossible to do.
Yeah, and even just the action of turning to talk to the monk while getting pushed in and of itself is very difficult. I've been pushed past the monk a couple of times, and I've just, even though it's CSR, you just kind of go for it just because, well, if you do it, it's 5 points, you know? Yeah, I've never even managed to get the turn off to talk to the monk.
So this is Jose Temple. There's multiple ways on how to do Jose Temple.
As we enter this temple, if you don't mind me just talking to chat for a second. For everyone in chat, Speed Stuff for Charity is back with our collaboration event with the Asian Speedrunners Alliance. So as we kick off Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we have this awesome event running today and tomorrow with all sorts of runs from the talented Asian heritage community. So Speed Stuff for Charity supports charity. Charities have raised over $15,000 since this group started a decade ago, benefiting St. Jude's, Doctors Without Borders, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and more. We do ask you to consider subscribing to help us out, and we do have a great goal, sub goal for our Pepsi Man run, where if we hit 40 subs, we will watch all the cutscenes of Pepsi Man. So very opposite of us skipping cutscenes here, we will watch all the cutscenes there if we reach 40 subs. Alrighty, take it back to you guys.
Right.
As a big lover of Pepsi, I would I very much be for that.
Yeah, contrary probably to popular opinion, this is probably my favorite trial. For no other reason than turboing through the inputs is because the time it takes for Titus to lower his hand is a little bit easier. And I'm lazy and I like to switch up. But people, as a rule of thumb, because of the pedestal push, which NiGhTBoX demonstrated a way that you can make the pedals push a little bit safer. Yeah, you can under push or over push the pedestal, and yeah, a lot of people aren't a fan of this one.
Yeah, the only real finicky thing about this is when you push the pedestal to the right in front and like get it into the circle. It's a lot more generous than you'd have than it would have you believe. But it can be a little finicky trying to get it to like charge. But I kind of don't mind it. I've gone through my disliking Jose Temple era, and I think I'm back on Team Jose Temple is like actually quite good.
Yeah, although if the skip ever becomes replicatable, I'd be happy enough to miss it, and I'll pay homage. But favorite temple or no, I would take the free time, in that unlikely scenario. So yeah, here we have 5 pedestals that we push in. This opens the door up to the Chamber of the Faith. Chamber of the Faith? Or is the Chamber of Faith further in? Will we call it the Foyer of the Faith?
Yeah, it's the waiting area of the Faith. Only Yuna is allowed into the actual inner sanctum. Right, third name we're gonna have to conjure up here. I know he hasn't planned any of these because at the start of every one he's gone, he's a quick thinker. Plobber, oh my god. Okay, I can see his naming convention of Aeons now. It's Mega Turbo Retired FF10 Speedrunners.
Shout out
back
to
in
Flowerworm, who made the notes, the most accessible notes of the game.
Yeah. Flobber is... Oh, I can't remember the last time Flobber run, but lovely human being. Very lovely. And also made an unbelievable set of notes for the old route, for Trio route in FF10. It's changed a bit now. Now it's a little bit more punchy, if you'll excuse my pun. But yeah, those notes are very good. Luckily, the notes that we have now, also very good. I can proudly call it a guide. A lot of Final Fantasies are blessed with having very, very good guides to just get into. FF8, FF9, FF10.
Yeah, he kind of set the accessibility of the game to a good notch by having those notes.
So this is Moonflow South. This is one of the areas that I would describe as
I'll take you all
almost impossible to die to in ambush. However, a few years ago, I'm going to say 3-ish years ago now, for the Final Fantasy Relay marathon, there was a runner called Vermilion Runs. He got all the way to the end of Moonflow South. There's no like transitions through areas or anything like that. It's one continuous long run. At almost the very last step, on the very last encounter, he got an ambush that killed his entire party from full HP and had to do the entire Moonflow South again. So, I will say that for the most part, this area is safe, it's chill. But, not 100%. You can get unlucky if Titus just gets slept, and then 1 or 2 failed escapes and you're in some real trouble. Oh, this
Okay,
is something.
it's level 1s. I was about to comment on what we're opening the chest for, and I'll be honest, I couldn't remember what was in it.
Level 1
so,
keys,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'll
we
be
used
right
to get
back.
those from Sin Spawn Gooey, which is the boss at the end of Mushroom Rock Road. However, because we don't kill that, that was our previous source of level 1 key spheres. It would give you 6 total. You don't have access to those anymore, so you have to go to that chest to still get yourself some level 1.
I'll be right back.
With the way that the sphere grid works, we will be moving through areas and not just sticking people to their own sphere grid and nothing else.
Ah, I hate this encounter.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
It's fine. It's like we're chilling for now. One more.
It can be a bit of a scary ambush, but yeah, it without the ambush, at least you're guaranteed not to be outsped really.
Yeah,
I won't go so easy on you
just
next
remember
time.
to hit a walker before.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, you want to take us through Extractor? I can't do it without spitting poison, unfortunately. It's the only fight that is worse because we don't do Mushroom Rock Road anymore.
So this will be a little bit safer this time. The switch hitter right. Two things then. So NiGhTBox has bought the switch hitter, which will increase Wakka's damage. He also has strength on Wakka, which will also make the fight a little bit safer, and he has Titus HP. Sometimes we will go into this fight without the bonus HP, without the Wakka strength, and it can be fun. So basically, what we're doing here is we're going to haste Titus to open up. Wakka will attack, and then we will repeatedly attack with Titus until slow sticks. It is allegedly a 50-50, or I suppose slightly under a 50-50. You will do enough of these runs, and you will have a lot of confirmation bias where you will feel differently. I have been assured that it is in fact the chances are in fact that they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the best case scenario is you get it first try and that's it. But the worst case scenario is that run this game long enough and you will get like 8th try, 9th try. It just cascades. It's not first or second. If you keep flipping tails in a heads or tails coin, you could just keep flipping tails over and over again, even if you were in heads coin. So it feels a lot worse. It didn't. Still didn't. Okay, so second try slow didn't work. Third try would be nice. Extractor's now going to raise. We need to do 500 damage to make it lower. So we need to be careful about turn order.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. That works. Attack once, haste, start cheering, but you have to Walker Overdrive. So haste Walker. Haste Walker and you can start cheering. How many turns does Walker have? He can attack once more. And then... Oh, very nice. You can crit. Because we can use Walker's Overdrive if we start under damaging, but it's better to use Walker's Overdrive once you've got some cheers on us, because it will do considerably more damage.
Yeah. There are a couple of different versions of this fight. So there's this being the standard, I suppose, where you have neither lightning weapon. So you'll cheer 4 times. You'll swap to Brotherhood, so Titus gets a little bit of a damage bump. That is the same circumstance if you have a Thunderball, but for slightly different reasons. Instead of trying to bump Titus attack up, you really want Wakka to be hitting hard. And then the last version is if you have Lightning Steam. You basically cheer once, switch to Lightning Steam, and then you just start bopping. Okay, so this rise that's happening right now is actually I think another 50-50. It doesn't actually mean anything other than a bit of time, because you will quite easily do enough damage for it to lower again. But yeah, Extractor can just attack Titus or Wakka again, which at dicey HP levels, sometimes you nearly rather see the rise, because it gives you a couple more extra turns to attack. But yeah, nice and safe there.
double edge.
Yeah, which is as much as we can ask for in a marathon run. If it's not
I wanna
speeding,
check.
absolute best case we can be is
Yep, I knew it.
Extractor will more often than not give you a lightning weapon, and even with Ice Strike, it will always take the element which is favored. So if you're hitting a thing which resists one thing but is weak to another, if you have a weapon which does both, it would just take the one that it's weak to and apply damage that way instead. This is the tutorial for Riku mixing. Riku mixing is really, 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 really powerful. We'll see that over the course of this run. I don't think we're going to see it here, because you already have all of your power spheres, so you...
Yeah.
Instead of killing by doing what it wants us to do, we're simply gonna give ourselves full mana. It'll bash us again, and then we can simply flee instead of a whole cutscene about like, wow, you're so incredible, Riku, with the amount of damage you're doing. How can you do that? Also, the item that it gives us is don't forget to unless you're just cutting it close again. The item it gives us is bomb cores. Bomb cores are really nice. They're a throwable item. And they can matter a lot later on. Moonflow North. These, best case you get 2 encounters which you can immediately flee from. Worst case you get 3 encounters which are really slow and outspeed a bunch.
I'm just going to make sure.
I'll do my best.
Okay, so he's got a grenade, and this is for speed spheres. It's 4 extra, and now
won't go
we
so
have
easy on you next time.
double extra Shawsies enough speed spheres, even in the case of shenanigans on this inputs onto accuracy, things like that. We will be safe. We have, thankfully, for a marathon run,
Riku,
plenty
watch and learn.
of spheres.
Live and let live.
I have not heard that.
Yeah.
I have not heard that before.
Yeah,
So we're about to enter Quarter Salam here. In cutscenes, this is quite nice. There's a lot of break opportunities. Not relevant here, but we also skip what is arguably my favorite FMV in the Xanarkand scene with Seymour's projection. I just think the visuals under were stunning. Obviously, it's skipped here regardless.
I get the feeling he called.
So in CSR, Guardo Salam is really nice because it's a minute and a half, 2 minutes of just like doing a bunch of story triggers and then leaving. In cutscenes, Guardo Salam is very slow. It's 20 odd minutes of of story, and the first time you're doing it, it's very impactful. You can run around, have a bit of a chat with everyone. It's lovely to just break up all of the roads that you've just been running through.
Also,
speed run, it's just it's a lot of cutscenes. It's a lot back to back. The FMV is very visually striking, but
also one of the things that cutscene remover removes from the speedrun itself is the affection mechanics. So we just happen to just talk to anyone and it's fine.
Yeah. There are affection mechanics and it will affect a ride later on. However, because all cutscenes are removed, they're not something you have to worry about. And it's the point of CSR. It just removes the cutscenes. Right, you do have the brake enabled, right? Are you going to take the brake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just 30 seconds of it. Or a minute or something. I just need to go.
That's fair. To make the run more accessible and approachable to a bunch of different people with a bunch of different needs, we're all Final Fantasy nerds at this point. Put on. Or when are you going to put on? Oh, that's a sweet one. Lovely. To make it more approachable and accessible for a bunch of different people with a bunch of different needs, there is a 5-minute break. In cutscenes, you get tons of breaks. We allow turbo. But even if you won't allow turbo, there are just a bunch of cutscenes which are unmashable. Lots which are 4 or 5 minutes long. In CSR, you don't get any breaks at all. So I'm going to get up to stretch real quick, but I'm going to continue talking. Yeah, in CSR you don't get any breaks at all, unfortunately. So this break is essentially just for people who need it for whatever reason. Maybe you need to go get yourself a drink, maybe you have something medical that you need to attend to, maybe like simply sitting down for that long is too hard and you need to just get up and stretch. Variety of different reasons, but yeah, just a 5-minute break in the middle of the run just for accessibility and an approachability. It's modern speedrunning for you.
Oh boy.
Yep. And as NiGhTBoX just demonstrated there, if you feel you don't need the entirety of the break, you can just cut it short.
Yep,
I won't go
exactly.
so easy
You don't
on you
even
next
have to
time.
enable the break if you don't feel you need it. It's not there. If you get close enough to the tower before the first encounter happens, that lightning strike won't come down. But if you're not close enough, it will strike you immediately after the encounter.
Hence the oh boy.
Yeah. If you're not ready for it, it will almost always hit you.
I'm a personal fan, specifically only failing to dodge the choreographed lightning
I'll
bolts.
be right back.
There's another one in the north side of the screen that we'll point out later. But yeah, the lightning bolts for some part are random, and for others
I'll
are
be right
quite
back.
choreographed. That being one of them, where as Chris said, immediately after the encounter. With a particular path, I think a second one after, if you get that one, a second one normally happens around a crater, and then the third one is in the north screen.
I'll be
I
right
try
back.
and do things to avoid it.
Also, ambushes are very dangerous here.
Yeah, ambushes can be scary if you're unlucky. However, there is one encounter, the Kusariki. The Kusariki monster is a big blue dragony thing. This one is literally. But the big blue dragony thing has a 50% chance to do an
I'll be
AoE
right
attack
back.
that will do between 700 and 800 damage to everybody that's unavoidable. If that happens, you're just almost certainly dead. There you go. Also, random side note, I found out something really silly the other day. I did a run of CSR where I only walked. No running, no nothing like that. It was walking from the very start of the game to the very end of the game. It turns out if you walk through Thunder Plains, you get so many lightning bolts fall on you. There were times where I could barely progress because I'd take 2 steps forward and immediately get hit by a bolt. It was tragic. Anyways. Ideally, you want the light curtain there, but it doesn't matter. We want to find an iron giant.
I'm doing odd mode.
Okay. So we're doing mixed strats on a later boss. That makes sense.
Okay, cool. Alright, in that case,
attacking is slightly faster than stealing, so in that case, that was the correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Iron Giant, we need Riku's Overdrive. Iron Giant has a very, very quick animation, and also Iron Giant, unlike a bunch of other monsters, will always attack, not percentage chance, will always attack the lowest current HP character. So if you put Riku in, right now she has 1 HP, Waka has 618, Orin has 1030, it will always attack Riku. It's only every third attack the Iron Giant has will be a either a leaping swing or an AoE attack. But the first two will always just be big, just very quick swipes.
The big dunk with the sword. That last lightning bolt that NiGhTBoX just dodged was the other one that I was talking about that is choreographed. That one is probably the most choreographed one because it'll always, if you take that path, it'll always strike in that spot, regardless of encounters. And that's my favorite one to fail.
What are you going to do?
Okay.
Okay. I respect that.
Scary encounter.
So ambushes aren't as horrendous in Thunder Plains North because the thing that NiGhTBoX picked up
outside of the agency was a yellow shield, which means makes you immune to thunder damage. So the Kusariku's big, scary AoE attack won't harm Titan. So thunder playing south is the really scary bit. You can still die in north, but we're mostly done with the scary bit.
Okay.
When it comes to the thunder planes, I thought one of the cool changes from Final Fantasy X to 10.2 is that they fix the lightning towers in 10.2, and it's like, yeah, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Just making sure I equipped the correct shield.
You do have to you do unfortunately in 10.2 have to calibrate the towers at some point though, which if you've ever done a fair bit of 10.2, I think you almost miss the lightning box, because calibrating it is essentially just a minigame where you have to press the button that appears on screen. It's an early QTE, but they're really fast. they really come down. They're hard to do.
I can honestly say that I have never completed the 10.2 DDR. I do believe it's a lot simpler than the game suggests the mechanics is. I think it's utilized for the speedrun or something, where you can actually just mash everything or something. But
yeah, the problem with a lot of games, mini games in 10.2 is that none of them work as intended, or almost all of them won't work as intended. So there's like a rhythm game where when an outer circle vibes with the existing circle, you're supposed to press confirm, and you get points for how accurate you are. However, you can also just mash regardless of all rhythm, and then it will give you points based on that. The highest you can score is 150 for reward's sake.
Yes.
The average speedrun will have like 600.
Okay, so you'll have noticed there in the background that NiGhTBoX had two different steals there. So one of those was on a Chimera, which will give you a Arctic Wind, and the second being on the Blue Elemental, which will give you a Fish Scale. The rare steal on a Fish Scale is 3 Fish Scales. The rare steal on a Chimera is actually another lightning marble, which is just delightful whenever you get the sphere morph and it decides that you need a Arctic Wind. So very, very shortly we'll see the boss these will be utilized on, and probably also the first demonstration we'll get to see of how broken Riku Overdrive actually is. But yeah, got the steeds off nice and early, so the rest of the time here we're basically just hoping for nice fast encounters that Titus can immediately flee from.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Almost done with Macalania, and as a result, almost done with Encounter Hell. We can't get the weapon with initiative, however, we can get a Titus weapon with first strike on it that a Waka will sell at the end of the screen. Catch this butterfly, because if you go on.
I was just about to say, just to point out another little mechanic that we abuse here. If you touch that butterfly, it starts the butterfly catcher minigame. So random encounters are turned off, and you can only get encounters when you catch a red butterfly. So in fact, you're supposed to run back through the area, catch all the butterflies, and then you end up getting a chest later on. That
back out.
What we do is we just ignore that and run towards the exit.
I'll go with
the... So, yep, and right there we, but we just picked up that weapon that Chris was talking about, which is Sonic Steel, which has First Strike, which basically makes the rest of this run, as far as random encounters is concerned, very, very nice and peaceful. Okay, we'll see here now. So, even though Riku is full overdrive here, the reason for utilizing the grenade is if you decide to just say attack with a Komari or a Riku or whatever else, you can in fact under damage. So the the grenade basically means that that's impossible.
So we're about to see in full force just how powerful Riku is. Bang, 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 bang. And it's dead.
And at the point of the game where nobody's, I think even casually, nobody's hitting for 1,000 damage an attack, Riku just gets to casually do what? Close to 9, maybe even over 10? Yeah. Very, very nice.
A bunch more than that, yeah. It's around 12,000, give or take.
Yeah, we're utilizing the level 1.
We can start doing some... Yeah. We're going to start actually using the grids earlier. The joy with the sphere grid system, and one of the best parts of it, is that you don't have to just stay on the character's own. You can just put them on other parts, which means that Kimahri can immediately go to steal and use. Steal and use is quite good. Oh, you're doing Dispel, aren't you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this is this is contrary to the norm. So what NiGhTBoX is doing here is he's using the level 2 to unlock the grid to pick up the white magic Dispel. This isn't typically used. There is an alternative strat to a boss that comes up in 3 boss fights time that we'll utilize there. But we'll wait till the fight begins to talk about that, because it's a little spicy. It's quite nice. It looks pretty cool. So, upcoming next is Negator. No, Crawler. My bad. Negator is present.
Yeah. There is a Negator. Nobody knows what Negator is. It's the little fly cog thing. Is called Negator. And it's pretty cool.
I think it's one of those ones as a speedrunner, it's the only one of the 2 bosses that you can under damage, so it's the one that gets cursed at more. So yeah,
no, the true boss is Negator. See?
Of course it does. So Negator is 1,000 HP. Anything over 1,000 HP will overkill it. So yeah, I don't know what the balance of Riku rolls is, but yeah, there's a few of them that are 900 off. And then we throw a couple of lightning marbles to do a bit of damage. And
you are favoured to one-shot because like the lowest Riku roll is 930 odd or something, 937, and the highest roll is like 1050 or something. So she is unfavoured to one-shot.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, I'll have to stop giving off as much with that one.
RPG speedrunning is it's crazy when you realize how unlikely it is for you to just get really, really lucky. Like the things that a lot of people will consider good luck are like really uncommon. This old strat never used to use Kimahri, but now we need a little bit differently. A quick note, we're already taking off first strike. The reason we're doing that is because in the next boss, Seymour also, yeah, bang, bang, like, he's really, really strong. But yeah, we switched off First Strike deliberately to put on Brotherhood, which doesn't have First Strike on it. The reason we do that is because in the next boss, Seymour and the Guado Guardians will always go before you, so scripted, to cast Shadow and Protect on themselves. How that's determined is they will take the fastest character's ATB, and they will go one teensy little tick before that. If Titus has First Strike on, it means that he's too fast. And then everyone else will have their turns much later. However, because they'll all go before him without him as a First Strike weapon, we'll get 5 turns before he's able to, before they're able to do anything.
So this is the moment where
also if you have
Oh, no.
This is the moment where we really start to abuse the sphere grid, and yeah, the Titus will get a little bit of a damage boost here, and a little bit of a speed boost. Stats in this particular run are very specific. Final Fantasy X is a very nice beginner-friendly speedrun, but provided that you do everything that you are supposed to do. We'll see the implications of that little, we'll call it a steroid boost that Titus gets there, coming up very shortly.
And I see some love in chat for Riku, but also I see some love in chat for women. We love that. If you love women being really strong, you are not mega carry in this route. That's all the hints I'll give you for now, but she is unbelievably strong at it.
I don't think you heard. I don't think they heard you, so it's fine.
Yeah, so Chris broke up a little bit there. I think the long and short of it is he was basically, so if you think Riku is carrying the run now, a little bit later in the run, Yuna basically takes over, but we'll not go any further than that.
Yeah. TLDR was if you love Riku being the carry and you love women, then boy oh boy you're not ready for what Yuna's gonna do. But we'll get to that later. For now we gotta let Tidus do an amount of carrying because he's the fastest one who can get to physical attacks. We have to use the Stone Breath here on these two Guado Guardians, specifically because otherwise, if we go and attack Seymour now, the Guado Guardians will simply move over and block them, so we have to get rid of them first. Kimura only has 6/4 HP, so we doesn't land on him. It's random. Defend.
Defend.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Anima might be a little bit weird now because you might only get 3 attacks in, but we can shuffle some fellas around and
it will be fine. If you live, you live. Oh. No.
Okay, very nice. So we steal from Anima here to try and ideally get the 3 silence grenades that we just seen. We get 2 opportunities to steal generally, the second one being a 50-50. If we get all 6 silence grenades, it is extremely nice.
Might be. Oh yeah, we're fine.
You have 4 attacks. So here's the second steal, 50-50, but also failed to 50-50. But even then, there is still... Oh, didn't get a 3% miss either. There is still a chance to get a rare steal, even if you do succeed it, which is a Farblend Shadow, which does absolutely nothing. It's true. It does do something, but it's pretty bad. Change back to the first strike weapon and then continuously defend. So Riku can get zapped for so she can get her overdrive back.
Yeah, as thankful as we are for the amount of carrying that Riku does in this particular run, she does get neglected a little bit at times to get that overdrive recharged again.
Yeah, essentially she needs to be slaughtered to gain her overdrive back. Nice shout out to Mafuication there, we love that. And then some extra HP and a tiny bit more strength. And Tidus is almost done scaling. He will get that strength node 3 down of where he is. that's pretty much it. Soon it will be Yuna's time to shine.
So,
I abhor this temple.
yeah, I just got to where I was about to go there. So this is trial number 4. Speedrunning wise, I don't mind this, but I will absolutely state that casually, this was my least favorite. Mainly because if you're any kind of a completionist, the destruction sphere is quite finicky to get through. But yeah, a little bit awkward. But yeah, once you know, like I suppose, like most trials in Final Fantasy X, once you know what you're doing, relatively quick and simple.
This is the only temple where a minor mistake can chip away like 10 seconds of your time.
A wrong turn at Bevelle Trials is probably worse.
Yeah, but this
yeah,
one,
I think most people's annoyances with this particular trial is you have to reset everything and then just do it all again if you want the destruction treasure.
oh yeah, and at the end, if you make a mistake, for a speedrun wise, you have to do the destruction sphere, and that's also very annoying.
I actually had the pleasure of submitting a run with that reset on it. Way back in the day when the newbie games were still present, it was more than recoverable. Yeah, we'll see. Nice and safe, nice tight line, but that little shining light that you could see there on the right-hand side of the screen will, as NiGhTBoX stated, completely reset the puzzle. No, not even. Brings the pedestal up, so you have to push it down, and it's more awkward than just resetting the puzzle because the destruction sphere is in the way of a sphere you also need.
No, we're not going to avoid another encounter. My movement is really bad. I'm going to try, but it's not really going to be. Confident it's not going to happen.
So, yeah, normally you know when it's going away when the camera swings around and the Guado isn't in view. Unfortunately, Guado is very much in view, so it is going to capture. There is a rare chance, as a result, that if you're caught here, that on the next screen or the next time you get an encounter on the next screen, that the game will crash. Now, it is rare. It won't always happen. But just something to be a little careful of. It's something...
And it happened.
Yeah, that's a shame. It's something that the people working on the CSR have desperately tried to figure out why it happens. They just don't know, and they're people who are considerably smarter than I am when it comes to these things, and have spent a lot of time working on FF10 and a lot of time working on the CSR. We just don't know why it happens. The answer for now is tragically just like, lol, don't get caught. But some people don't have that luxury. Some people are newer. Like, one slip in the analog stick and you can get caught. So
yeah, and this was the big thing, especially for newer runners, is the default Blitzloss strat actually utilizes killing two of the encounters, so you intentionally get caught. And there is means a way around that where you take crevasse encounters instead, but obviously you're not going
I'll be right back.
The crevasse will be non-ambushes. So when you're learning the run and you just want to blast on, I suppose it's the safer option, but there is just that little bit of a dice roll at the end.
I love that this game crashed during the marathon.
yeah,
All my practices the game has never crashed.
it is genuinely a pretty rare crash. Like, it won't happen most of the time you're doing it. Also, just side note, remember to stream.
I'll be right back.
Just, whenever you got a second to put it back up so we can see it. And also, thankfully, when this game crashes... Yeah, it's
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. When this game crashes, there is still autosave. Back when these games didn't have ports... Thank you. Back when these games didn't have ports, there was no autosave, so if something like that happened or a mistake happened, that was it. Your run's over. Unlucky.
That will go so easy on you
joys of
next time.
autosaves. There is a slight double-edged sword in the fact that sometimes you make a mistake and you get into a fight and it's uncontinuable because of the formation going into it, but it's fine. Do you want to explain what he's doing here? Because I don't do this strategy.
So I have only done a little bit. So it's a little bit different. So instead of attacking the Farguado and killing it, because it will cast Shell as a counter to dying, instead basically attack Wendigo with Titus to do a little bit of damage before Protect goes on. Basically leave it then that you're mixing with Riku to provide some status ailments. Power Break being one of them, which we get rid of with the spell here. So we force Wendigo then into the counter phase that you can see here now. And what's really nice with this is he won't attack on his turn, but he will counter and immediately charge Kimari and Riku Overdrive. And then we simply switch back to Unity's AP. Switch back to Titus, Spiral Cut, and jobs are good. So basically, it's a little bit different to the normal where we just kind of swing and hope for some crits. Here we utilize the damage of Riku Overdrive, the status rolls. The spell guarantees, because it removes Power Break, that Riku Overdrive and Kimari Overdrive will both get recharged. Kimari Overdrive is a nicety for some fights coming up in about 10 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer. Riku Overdrive is vitally important. But yeah, it's recently been sort of timed out and we've re-optimized and stuff, so it may be a thing that you start to see more frequently. At the very, very least, it looks really nice.
Need some.
So, we're now into the forced encounter at the zoo.
Are you all...
Look.
That was fast.
That was really fast. Really fun fact is you're not guaranteed to get that second Titus turn, and the zoo can kill Titus. I don't know if that was a safe amount, but it's really fun when it happens. I've personally...
I didn't have it for I didn't have it for a many number of years. Titus dying to that encounter, and then in 1 week I had it twice. And it's not even that bad of a time loss when it happens, because essentially you just escape with Auron and Lulu. Yeah. Escaping in this game is a 75% and flat chance of succeeding.
So, you'll notice there, NiGhTBox swapped Titus out, stole from the dog some sleep powders. What we really want is to have 6 tier 2 throwables, because 2 of those are sleep powders, you can actually get away with 4. But it's a little bit janky, for lack of a better term. There's basically like a, I want to say boss rush, but like they're not strong enough probably to be considered bosses, so we'll call it the guard rush in Bevelle.
Mob rush.
Mob rush, so that's a nice way to put it. So yeah.
Live and let live.
Yeah. Here we have the Machina. I suppose it's a steel tutorial, despite the fact we've been stealing a bunch already. We kind of just ignore it, much like the
I'll be right back.
Overdrive tutorial, where we just don't do what the game expects you to do and do your own thing instead. Just to save a bit of time, I suppose. What's really fun there is if you forget to do the agility though before Wendigo and you get a preemptive.
I'll be right back.
Riku will outspeed Titus, so instead of fleeing, you end up stealing.
It's a very specific scenario you just painted there.
You would, yeah. I wonder if it's because it's happened on more than one occasion.
Yeah, I can't say I've had that one personally.
Let's do it!
I realized something in this run. We have never fought on land on a random encounter on a run here.
I'm unsure I know what you mean. We've never fought on land.
Yeah. On random encounters, we have never fought. Yeah. All our fights are underwater.
Hey.
The piranhas.
I'll go so easy on you next time.
Oh, we have Kilika?
Kilika?
Yeah. No, not Kilika. Before the octopus.
Cross.
And Lagoon. Yeah, Cross.
Live and let live.
Oh.
Yeah. They're all underwater for a while.
Wait a second here. I forgot I need a sleeping powder.
You should still have one more encounter before fun.
Yeah.
Live and let live.
This encounter works. You can still go into the next game.
I'll just show this.
Yeah, it's the other
I'll
side.
just show
It's
this
like
there.
20,000.
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
How can a bird grow so big? I won't go so easy on you next time.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so just gonna say here, while we're in the desert can make you pretty thirsty, so why don't we talk about some coffee. Dragon Roast Coffee is one of our partners. They are a small team passionate for roasting coffees for gamers and adventurers. For this event, they put together a couple of awesome items: a golden split dark roast coffee. It's coffee that's
Isn't
got
there an easier way?
brown sugar sweetness, deep dark chocolate flavors. Pretty awesome. They also have a special speed for charity frosted glass can, as well as a bundle, and all proceeds go to charity. So I recommend checking them out at dragonroast.coffee. All right.
Yeet.
I wish I had a coffee-related emote, but unfortunately it's only Pepsi.
Yeah, so
I think it's a wonderful strat here. We use Orange second overdrive to... Oh, go.
Guys?
Oh, I didn't know if Chris was waiting for something, or he got out. I'll just pick up from there. So basically, all the worry of whether or not we were going to get Orange Overdrive was for that single
I
fight
won't go so easy
there.
on you next time.
So there are 2 Sandragoras. Oh, nice. Managed to get out of the pit without triggering it. So yeah, there are 2 Sandragoras. The first one we use Orange Overdrive just to yeet on out of there. Okay. So the second one, what we can do is, and Riku just wasn't behaving herself there. You can position Titus in a way where he just gets, Riku will follow through, and she tries to run to home, and she'll push him through. Because of the Wendigo strats that NiGhTBoX used there, he had Kimari Overdrive. So once he got into the encounter, you can flee from the encounter and try again, or because it's there, you can just
This should be quick.
throw Kimari in, use a little bit of Stone Breath, and away you go. Yeah, that'll actually a little bit of strength that was created there, that last little strength node, that is entirely for the purposes of one, well, that and a boss fight coming up, but for this particular fight, without it, you will still overkill the bombs, but you will not one-hit the Guado. Yeah, a little bit of marathon safety here. Kamari's Overdrive will refill from empty if you learn a new skill. So you can learn self-destruct from the bombs here. So NiGhTBoX is just basically swap Kamari in, landed it, and it basically this next fight coming up here now just makes it a little bit safer. So in the event of an ambush, you've already got a Overdrive for Kamari ready to go. So you can just swap them in and really happy. So apologies, Chris is messing with me. He's having a bit of lag problems, so I will do my best to keep things running here.
Yeah, I'm intermittently cutting out every now and then, and it just kind of happens randomly. So for the most part, I'm fine, but I can't tell when I am until 5 seconds after it's happened. So bear with me.
There we go. So yep, this fight can be an ambush, and it's a little bit scary when it happens because the chimeras can do a fair bit of damage, and the Guado, the Guado will always target the lowest HP member. So if the chimeras take out Lulu, that is Kimari, then he can get killed before you can get the Stone Breath off, but thankfully that wasn't the case here. And we're through. So, yeah, we're picking up a little bit of stuff here. So the level 4 and I think more level 2s. Yes. This is basically what we're going to use to make Yuna do all sorts of fun stuff. We're casually getting on board the airship here. Obviously, without the context, it's.
I hope you know where you're going, part 1.
Yeah. So without the cutscenes, it's a little bit easy to like sort of become disoriented and kind of, for lack of a better term, just kind of forget where you are in the run. There's a little bit here and a second instance as well on the airship where it kind of just becomes like a little bit of a corridor simulator. I'll be encounter so
I'll be right back.
there is a chance, and I think it's only that once you get through there, it doesn't exist in the sorry screen, I think. But yeah, that random encounter isn't necessarily one that happens all too frequently. It's harmless if it does. Okay, and we've seen Riku kind of do a little bit of carrying with damage, and we're about to get real lucky. It would you can imagine critting 5 attacks in a row. That would take some extreme amounts of luck. Or you can again abuse the very powerful Riku Overdrive. Nice Riku Overdrive recharged. So yeah, basically here we utilize a Luck Snow with any purple sphere, and it does a thing called Miracle Drink. Basically makes every action that you do a critical attack, including overdrives. The first tier basically leaves it that Titus doesn't do enough damage to push Every into the haste phase of its thing too quickly. The second one is that once it does get pushed into the haste phase, you're guaranteed to do enough damage to kill it. Yep, here we are, we're into the mob rush. So the first ones are nice and simple. It's just slap him over the head with your sword. And you'll have seen the steel mechanic utilised both on Anima and in Beaconell, and we're about to see the fruits of the labour there in the second encounter here.
Seymour!
Yeah, the sleeping powders that we stole from the dogs of Beaconell basically allow us to put the guards to sleep, and then we can simply use another tier 2 grenade and a smoke bomb. And there we go, nice and simple. If you're ever in a position where you have to kill something off, generally try to leave it that nothing's left. Or that the YKT or the robot's never left itself. It is a really strange mechanic where it will only eject. Oh god, I might be speaking out of turn here. I think it will only eject if it's the last enemy left alive. Yeah. Encounter number 3, same thing as encounter number 1, just smack him over the head. And then likewise here, and thanks to memory cursor, Riku is already on sleeping powders. And Kamara will already be on smoke bombs. We have one more encounter here. And because we got the extra... Yeah, because we Rico Overdrive and also we have the extra tier 2 throwable, you can just lob 2 of them over, and thankfully we then outspeed the robot at the back, and you can just smack it over the head or throw a bomb core at it as well. And job's a good one. The fun thing about that mob rush is if you do mess it up, it brings you all the way back to before Everett, because there is no autosave in between. It's a really fun discovery when it happens. So, we're now coming into the 5th trial.
Not so fun.
Yeah, so Bevel's a weird one. It's very, very much, it's the same every time. It's fairly consistent, but as Chris alluded to earlier, a missed input can throw you out of sorts. But yeah, I would say I think I said earlier that Macalania might have been my least favorite casualty. I probably have to disagree with myself, with my past self, and say that it would be this one. There isn't an awful lot of guide, I suppose, for lack of a better term, as to like how the mechanics work or this, that, or the other. You're kind of just feeling about the dark.
For this one, for me casually, I didn't really mind too much because I was like, oh, what does this button do?
So, there's a relatively specific order that we do this in. So we'll take the left first, we'll grab the sphere, and we'll hold A, and just spin this around. And we don't have too far to go to get rid of this, we just go left again. And this will allow us to create a pathway down to the next section of the cloister. It's not, we can all admit that it's not exactly the most riveting part of the run, but it is that thing of like, when you see how it's done, sort of like a switch in your brain goes, why was this so difficult for like 10 years of my life? Yep. Make our way down to the lower level.
One, two.
Yeah, you'll have heard NiGhTBoX counting there. The timing of the arrows is basically set. So if you go in the first one there, I don't know if it's impossible, but it's certainly a struggle to make the turn that we just made. If you wait to the second round of the arrows going round, you can simply hold A as once you pass the first left turn, and that's it. You automatically make the turn.
Yeah, I remember when I was playing this before, just the frustration with the timing and everything. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it's that thing of like, it's the lack of explained mechanics of it, that where you're trying to time an input, and whether it was intended or not by the developers, in most instances, if you've done all those steps correctly, you just get the whole day. It's quite nice.
If you guys have anything to say for the marathon, you can do it right now. It's like, this is pretty much chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So this event from Speed Stuff for Charity is collaboration with Asian Speedrunners Alliance. So ASA celebrates our Asian members of the speedrunning community, where they want to promote Asian representation in community events of all kinds. So by holding its own events and collaborating with groups like Speed Stuff for Charity, ASA seeks to showcase all of our talented Asian speedrunning community members, which is so heckin' awesome. If you want to learn more about the Asian Speedrunners Alliance, you can check out our Discord, type ASA, !ASA in the chat, and yeah, go check it out.
Yep, so we're almost at the end here. There's just one more pass through to go. So, this is the only destruction sphere that's guaranteed. So, unfortunately, that means, and spoilers here, there will be no anima. Growing up, anima was very, very, very broken. Weirdly, even if it was like a zero cost exercise to grab anima, anima is surprisingly slow.
Oh no.
So you end up with having to do slightly different grids. Yep, we're all good. Making the pedestal move very, very far past the turn there for a bit of dramatic effect. But yeah, holding A basically with that sequence, you're guaranteed to get the turn off. Just sometimes it looks a little bit scarier than it needs to be. And up we go. The NiGhTBoX making that look very, very, very simple. I suppose once you know what you're doing, I suppose it is. But for the initially,
one of the annoying things is avoiding that thing.
Yes.
Chris isn't here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're now into the first section of the Via Purifico, and we're about to see a lot of grid.
Oh, I have a question for Fusa.
There must be an A.
Yes.
Do you want Ixion or do you want Shiva?
I'll say Shiva.
Alright. That's decided. Ooh, thanks.
So the reason for that question is normally what happens next is Ixion's job, but other than a little bit of time, there's virtually no difference in what you end up having to do. The big thing is once you make a decision is that you stick with it. So yeah, you'll see a lot of grid in here. Basically, we pump uniful of mostly strength nodes, but you'll notice, and even though you don't really use any magic spells or any mana for that matter, we're also grabbing other little bits and pieces. Aeon scale kind of oddly in that they don't scale directly with the stat that you just applied. They so strength will pump up strength a fair bit, defense will pump up defense a fair bit, but it also, depending on X amount of stats you pump in, it will also scale other stats around. Which is why that accuracy node was got there. It isn't actually to make Yuna any more accurate at hitting things, it's to replace a little bit of different grid.
The lost
NiGhTBoX
magic
because he used the magic sphere to do his Wendigo strat.
If you don't mind me asking a question, how come you do all the grid stuff now?
So it's basically AP limited. So Titus can take care of virtually everything up until this point. So up until that point, all Yuna really needs to do is defend, because you won't have enough levels to pump enough stats into her to dispatch, if anything, particularly quickly. Whatever you take into account, like Aeon summoning times or like split grids and this, that, and the other. So we kind of just bide our time to the point where Yuna has enough.
I hate this place.
I know.
Enough AP to like break into, I think it's Wacka's grid, I believe, and then just. Yeah, you'll see the results here now. Like, what are you going to expect here? Like, first, you would expect maybe Shiva to be starting to do maybe 2-3.
Let's go, women.
Gotcha already.
Please help us.
Nope. Just still an extra 1,000 on top of that. So yeah, these encounters are unique in that they are unflayable. So the fact that we have a souped up Aeon to dispatch them in one attack is very, very, very handy.
Be strong.
Technically, Shiva can destroy everyone against Cesaro, but we're not gonna try.
Is that a cross your fingers and hope for a crit scenario? Or is it just the speed difference?
They can do some shenanigans.
Yeah, so we have, for the most part, you have a chance to get 2 or 3 larvae. Okay, I didn't speak too soon, that's fine. There is a really rare scenario where nobody wants that. So basically, the 3 isn't a waste either, because you'll see in a future screen that we kill a couple more things just to like make up the AP.
Alright.
So we just saw Shiva hitting the larva there for about 4k. So what would we expect Bahamut to do here? Maybe like 6 or 7? That'd be reasonable enough, right?
6, 7.
Oh god, that was... Alright, yeah. 7 or 8. Nope. Just casually slapping you free for about 12k. Yeah, so, basically, like... because of the defense of the Saurus Aeons and the fact that you pump so much strength nodes in, yeah, very, very quickly the Bahamut becomes a bit of a powerhouse.
It's not.
So there's no way to skip the summoning animations?
No more than we already have. So unfortunately, we have to watch the Saurus in their entirety. That's basically true for any enemy Aeon summoning. They don't get affected by the fact that we've chosen to go for the short animation. But you'll see that. So whatever Aeon you summon, which is usually Ixion, in the Larva Rush, you'll choose the same Aeon for this fight purely because once you've watched the animation once, it becomes a shortened animation. So as long as you keep that consistent, you don't lose any additional time to like watching a fresh animation for someone else. So little like small little things like that there just to like optimize, I suppose, how much time is burnt to get through this particular section.
Okay, gotcha.
Ooh,
nice crit.
This is why I love summoning Shiva. It may be facetious, but I feel like her crit rate is higher than Ixion's.
I don't know the luck stat, so I can't be sure on that one. But yeah, unless I don't know if all the Aeons have the same luck by default or it is slightly higher, but at the very, very least, her crit noise is a little bit nicer.
Alright, this is the scariest fight in the game. I need to concentrate.
Yeah, so we saw how
This is going to be
difficult or how we dispatched of Every. We're about to get a nasty little surprise in Every Altana, which has even more HP. And that. So yeah.
Crap. Did I make a mistake?
I think you've hacked the game. There's no way you could throw a healing item at an enemy and kill it, right? So yeah, like I think most Final Fantasies probably have that little niche sort of zombie interaction. But yeah, it's really neat. I'm sure plenty of people imagine or remember having to open up all the different doors and like fleeing away or whatever else. Thankfully, this is much faster. And then it's just a nice casual swing all the way out of here.
I think the game expects you to have scan here, so you will know that Every is already ended.
Yeah, potentially. Not that would have meant anything to me. It's amazing the amount of mechanics that exist in this game that I just wasn't aware of. In large part, I was just a grinder. I would have just took a bunch of encounters, pumped a load of stats into the sphere grid, and just like brute forced my way through a lot of it.
What am I going to do? This one.
Yep. So, yep, another little bit of a boost for unit. So, likewise, you'll see there's a couple of different pickups here with the defense node as well as the strength nodes. The defense is for you have the extra speeds.
I don't need that magic difference. Oh.
So Yeah, just a
Yuna doesn't really need that magic defense and that evasion, but her Aeons though.
Yeah, so again, because of the skip, or not the skip, I suppose, the used magic sphere for the Wendigo attack, you're a little bit short on stats. So I think the accuracy +3 is enough, but it's better to be safe whenever there's the swing rules. You'll notice there that NiGhTBoX also killed the first YKT. Basically, between the larva and the bridge, you need 4 kills total.
Hold on, Kamari.
Just for a little bit of bonus AP, and for some weird reason, the YKTs here give a disproportionate amount of AP to their strength level. And that just makes sure that we're not short later on in the run. So, what was Bahamut hitting for the last time? About 13k?
Yeah.
They, we maybe got about 6 more strength, 8 more strength, something like that. Can't go up that much.
34. It's Mumba.
So yeah, this is kind of the point where Final Fantasy X becomes the Bahamut show.
Or rather, the Rat of the Irish, for this instance.
But yeah, there's I think maybe like 2 to 3 more instances where we pump, a lot more stats. But yeah, for the heavy gridding, bar 1 more heavy grid is basically done. So if you're lucky enough to get 2 gems on every, this is a exceptionally chill area, in that you don't need to do this little swap here. If you can put Riku in, you can just flee from every encounter, and it's nice. It's chill. You just get to hold up and press A every so often. So this is, now that the stage is done, we have the gems we need to do a boss fight that's coming up very, very shortly. If you have any shoutouts or like sponsor reads or anything like that there that you need to do, now would be a really, really good time to do it, because this is just, once NiGhTBoX turns this corner, it's going to be holding A and or holding up and pressing A for 3 to 4 minutes.
Let's get them, guys.
Well, alrighty. Then start off with a shout out to PSX GamerDab for subscribing. Thank you so much for that. Gets us closer to our sub goal of 40 for watching all the cutscenes in Pepsi Man. And for this adventure, Final Fantasy X, pretty awesome adventure. You definitely want to be supplied up. Well, y'all can get supplied up with merch from Tantrum. So Tantrum has some awesome merch for our Speed Stuff for Charity event. If you go to tantrummerch.com /SS4C, they've got lots of cool items. They got hoodies, they got shirts, they got journals. During your adventures, you might want to record some memories in there. They've got bento lunchboxes. They got some chopsticks, like all for Speed Stuff for Charity, which is pretty neat. So I would say go on over and check them out. Some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, so we're just coming to the end of Camlands here now. Thank you very much for that, by the way. I actually did go in and check out some stuff. The chopsticks in particular make me kind of annoyed that I live in Europe. They look quite neat.
Chopsticks?
So there's, apart from the bento box, there's Speed Stuff for Charity chopsticks available on the Tantrum merch website, and they look very nice.
No, I just got confused. Chopsticks in Europe, and I was like, chopsticks?
Oh, it's the shipping thing. It's one of those things where if I'm having noodles, it's my prepared method of eating, I suppose. So yeah. Just gonna quickly double check, NiGhTBoX. You got the strength on Uni, yeah?
I think so. Yeah.
Perfect. Sorry, I didn't see it happen, so I just thought I would double check.
Yuna. Ireland. Wrap up the Irish in full force right there.
So yeah, coming up is someone we would have met earlier, only for the CSR. So if any of you have played this casually, we have the dispatch of Biren and Yankee. And you're probably thinking, well, hold on. The only people that you put any stats into, bar the dispel ability, is Titus and Yuna. How is this going to work? So you'll probably remember as well that we put Steel and Use into Kamari. But fun little mechanic with this fight is the Biren and Yankee both scale off of Kamari's stats. Yeah, the rare steel there is... well, it doesn't mean anything, I suppose. But yeah, you basically... it's a little useless 5% chance. But yeah, Biren and Yankee both scale off Kamari's stats, so the lower Kamari's HP is, the lower their HP is. Weirdly, their overkill amount does not change. So we both do enough damage and overkill them. Oh, 2-2.
Ooh, baby!
There we go. So we both do enough damage to kill them in one shot with a gem and also provide the overkill. There is 3 different combinations of drops that Biren and Yankee can produce. What NiGhTBoX has got here is 2 friends and 2 returns. We like that. That is, for most people, probably the most favorable outcome, because 4 friends is such a rarity that a lot of most of us aren't practiced enough on it. But yeah, it basically warps the different types of grid that you do. So if you get 4 returns, the agility and strength that NiGhTBoX has just picked up is the only 2 stats that you get. Because of the 2 friends, basically you can move Lulu down here, warp Yuna.
He's gonna do this first.
No worries.
Since he is accessible.
So yeah, we're picking up armor break on Titus here as well, just for a couple of fights that'll be coming up in a good wee bit, but yeah. So we go back to Lulu, move Lulu up here, and then use the second friend sphere, because Yuna is out of levels, to move 1, 2, 3, 6 spots in the grid. Seems a bit of a waste, but you'll see very, very quickly just how useful that little small warp was. So we're about to hear an awful lot of screen crashings right now. I don't know if it's just because it's so long or whether it's actual thing, but the encounter rate on Gagazette feels very, very high. But yeah, this will be a really nice my Gagazette. two returns, 2 friends, and Riku already is overdrive, so there's no worries about recharging it. There'll be a fight coming up very, very shortly, and how that fight is done is determined by the drops that and the grid that NiGhTBoX just did there. But for the most part, this is it's another Gamland. It's just getting encounters and pressing the fleet.
Grenade.
But yeah, coming up very shortly, we have a returning guest.
Not much has changed.
A certain somebody that just likes to hang around like a bad smell, doesn't seem to want to go at all. And this is very much, I think, for the most part, a big stat check within the casual game. And yeah, all the effort we put in so far, if you haven't seen this fight before, you'll probably be a little shocked at just how easily Seymour gets dispatched.
We can talk about the length of the game right now. So normally a whole run of Final Fantasy X will take around 9 to 10 hours. But because of cutscene remover, we have removed like 70% of all the time wasters. So we're now
Later.
Okay.
we're now just down to just the 3 to 4 hours. So that's really a big deal.
Yeah, playing this back in the day and like watching all the cutscenes and then hearing about how much time gets removed with cutscene remover, I'm just like, wow, there's like more than multiple movies worth of cutscenes that they had to make. Which is surprising to think about.
Yeah. Literally back in the day, I was like, whenever I have to prepare for a run, I have to make sure that my schedule is all blocked off before I actually do anything. So grinding this game is such a big commitment.
Yeah, and I think like especially for when you view it from the perspective of new runners, I know I personally would never have been able to get into speedrunning in the first place if it wasn't for the existence of CSR. I actually prefer the cutscenes run. I like the extra skips and stuff like that there, but again, like we're speedrunning Final Fantasy X. Most of us are probably in our 30s, if not a million miles away from it. There's a lot of other life stuff that gets in the way, so it's very, very nice to be able to like go in and relive one of your favorite games. So speedrunning for me definitely give it a whole new breath of life. You'll
Ooh, he low rolled.
yeah, it's fine. You'll probably have to kill a defender in Samarkand, but it's not the end of the world. You impulse there, and then the mortar body absorb will kill. It's so he just I never even thought of the spell. You might need a silence grenade as well.
Ha ha.
There you go.
No defender. No defender
So
today.
that must be the most niche fix to that I've ever seen. So most of the time we don't have the spell there. So you kind of just have to like accept that you're not getting the overkill, you're going to be short AP. Thinking on your feet there, managed to just get rid of all the protect stuff and basically
That is something I did not expect I would do. That has never happened to me in a run.
But yeah, so the margins there are very fine, to the point where like we impulse, and the 4K more than what it does actually generally finishes off. A high roll would have allowed an attack to kill. Seymour has 70,000 HP. Unit did 7 and a bit K, and Bahamut did 61K. So like, there wasn't a whole lot in it. The big issue there wasn't that you wouldn't kill in time. It was that you'd be short the AP, and that was cured almost immediately. So, a bit of the theme of the run here now is another area that is getting encounters and fleeing. Just trying to move as quickly as you possibly can. So.
I am very proud of that move.
But it would be interesting to see, because Impulse is quite a long animation, and so you obviously then have the mortar body absorb as well. It'd be interesting to time it to see. I think like once you invest the spell and all that there, it probably isn't worth for the most part. But it was really cool to see. It's definitely faster than having to summon Bahamut to kill a Defender X later on. Or Defender Z, so.
I think it's Defender Z. Alright, so this minigame, it doesn't explain anything to you, but second crosshair, press X, you're done.
Yeah, if you're a little bit, like, if you're, I suppose, a newer runner and a little bit less confident, the second pass after that is a lot more forgiving than where NiGhTBoX 3 there is. It's a little bit tighter of a timing. Once you have it down, it's fairly okay. Your biggest enemy, if you miss, is your own tilt.
Yeah. So to explain how that works is like there are two outer walls. And one of the walls there, one of the inner walls rotates in a way where it will block the circle if you don't if you mash X on the incorrect instance of the outer wall. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you'll be able to do the next minigame first try?
I'll try my best. Might be very hard.
So, this is a weird one where, so like, the trials that exist in Gigazet seem to be oddly specific to your current party. My working theory, and it is very much nonsense, is that it's a magic mountain that senses who is on it and warps itself to test those that are trying to get past. Absolutely no basis for that whatsoever, other than it just makes an explanation as to why you need a blitz ball to get through it. So if you keep an eye out on the turn order of characters as encounters happen here, you'll notice that for the most part, only Titus gets a turn, even in non-ambush encounters before the Fiends do, and that'll just like sort of demonstrate just how valuable First Strike is for the speedrun. Of course, that particular encounter that they're quite slow, so Riku decided to prove me wrong almost instantly. So underwater is probably the only example of the encounters where I think Riku's guaranteed to outspeed. I think she can outspeed other things, but right, come on, focus. Oh, how does he do it? So yeah. Again, the thing with this one is there's absolutely zero explanation as to what you're supposed to do.
What this minigame is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very simplistic. I think, and I'm not even 100% sure about this because we generally mosey on through it that quickly, is the one that Riku goes to the smallest one? The one that Titus goes to the second smallest one, and the one that Waka goes to the biggest one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either by size or by
color.
the other
associated or
explanation is if you look in their shoulders, Riku is where wears green, has green things on her shoulders. Tidus has blue. Waka has red.
Yeah. But like a lot of things, there is very little explanation. Well, sorry. Again, take this with a pinch of salt. Anytime I've seen the pop-up for most of these games, they're being skipped almost immediately, so it might explain it to me. It's just been that long since I've seen it.
It might have, but yeah.
Yeah, so,
Ooh.
How many steaks you think we can get out of these?
I forgot the line. Yeah, again, with cutscenes, we would have a bit of context as to why this massive dragon has just appeared. Basically, the first of the tests that Unalaska sends. And that armor break that was gridded earlier on is quite important. It is one of those weird ones where if you forget to do that party swap, you can just swap Titus for Yuna and you just have to tank, is it Photon Wings? I want to say?
Yeah, Photon Wings.
Yeah, so Bahamut won't get one shot, but it's a long animation is much faster just to remember to put Yuna in for somebody, and you just get to do another Bahamut pop.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to have a very, very long lull here for random encounters. So if you have anything, if you wanna shout out, you can do it right now.
Alrighty, sounds good. I mean, like, watching all this, I mean, for sure, any, like, speedrun involves, like, lots of planning. So, for anyone out there, why not plan your next stream event with Tempest Streams? They're, basically, they're partnering with, they work with you to create the perfect storm, which is to elevate your event with the broadcast you need. If you go on their website, tempeststream.co, you can check out what they call the Quad, which is a groundbreaking competitive broadcasting format. So it allows for simultaneous streaming and recording of multiple game feeds at the same time. That's pretty cool. You can also check out their portfolio on their website. So, yeah, pretty awesome. Go ahead and think. Let me see if I can do this command. Do I remember? Is it? I can't type. But yes, go ahead and check them out when you can.
Yeah, so just to give a bit of context as to how long this particular section is, especially with encounters, we're probably not even a quarter of the way through. And you got to do a full shout right there. It goes by.
Yeah, if there's any other games, showcases, anything.
Oh yeah, for sure. The next game that we have is Zoid's Battle Legends, which is it's an Empire versus Republic mission mode. We got Mass Effect 3, which is, wow, that's impressive. Another long game there. We got SOCOM, there's an art showcase coming up. Pepsi Man, we just talked about Pepsi Man a few times because we've got a sub goal, 40 sub goal, where if we've reached that, we watch all the cutscenes in Pepsi Man. Right now we're at 23 out of 40 subs, so more than halfway. Still plenty of time to go as well. So if you want to consider subscribing, please do so. Helps us out a lot. And then we'll also have some PlayStation Cross-World Randomizer later with Ape Escape and Jack 1. So we got exciting, awesome runs coming up. So everyone here, consider following and keep staying tuned for some awesome runs.
Yeah, so we're coming to the end. Sorry, excuse me. We're coming to the end of the random encounter zone here for Zonagant. And I would say, okay, this is the real worst trial in the game. Again, very, very little context provided into how it works. I think there's a little bit of like a menu flash up to be like, oh, you gotta activate some stuff, but it there we go. So yeah, it's a long drawn out process. It's one of those things I'll don't really know what they were thinking with this one, to be honest. It's long, it's slow, it's frustrating. But yeah, so more commonly known in the speedrunning community as Tetris, for no other reason than that they are Tetris-shaped blocks on the floor. This first one's not so bad. If they were all like this, I think I would give off about it a little bit less. But it's like most things in Final Fantasy X, it's very consistent once you like. I'm not gonna say know the patterns because there's probably only a handful of runners that do this without having the cheat sheet open. But it's relatively consistent.
Oh, I have run this game for 9 years. I have never bothered memorizing this one. I am taking the cheat sheet every time.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where so a lot of scenarios where you're looking over your looking into another monitor to look at a menu or look at this, that, or the other. You're actively reading, and it probably does slow you down a wee bit. Looking at the cheat sheet for this just doesn't cost you anything. I've tried doing the trials here noteless, just on dead runs that were I was never going to PB on or whatever else, but I was just finishing because finishing runs is good. It's good practice. Also just finishing runs in general is good. Purely because it's FF10 might be an easy speed run, but it's not that handy to go through a whole run and not make a mistake that completely derails your whole mentality of it. So yeah, basically finish more runs, people. I include myself in that. I reset way too often. But yeah, it's a freebie. There's absolutely no advantage to not having the notes up, and it's quite a lot of patterns, so there's a fair bit that you would have to remember.
you should write to everybody who worked on this game and be like, wow, I can't believe you didn't think about the speedrunning community when you designed this.
Oh, there is one more sort of mini game that comes up later on in the run, and
oh boy,
yeah,
I have words with that.
It makes this seem like the developers made this to be kind. Let's say, at least as boring as it is, as monotonous as it is, it's nice, it's consistent, it's just a little bit time consuming. But
there is no RNG in this minigame.
So we'll throw back to that whenever we reach it.
Oh boy.
It's probably one of those ones where it probably doesn't look as bad as what it feels. I think it's very much a bone that speedrunners have a problem or have to pick, but it's the biggest issue I would say most people have with this particular set of speedruns, and it oddly comes from using the notes, is me personally, I'll get mixed up about which one I'm looking at, so I'll be looking at the fourth puzzle instead of the third puzzle, and like the first two things you step on are the same, so you're like 3 nodes deep before you catch on. Those are the ones that really get sort of they grind you on it, but for the most part it's not so bad. As long as you like remember where your place is, it's okay. And any mistake you make on it, it's not run ending, so it's just a matter of putting the time in and getting more familiar. So, as painstaking as this looks to anybody that has enjoyed the run so far and has went, oh well, actually, do you know what? This looks like it could be fun to pick up. Don't let Tetris put you off. It's genuinely not that bad.
I find it funny
I forgot
that they're
what puzzle
using...
I was in, and I just went like, I'm probably in puzzle 5.
I think it's funny that it's like literally Tetris shapes. They don't even try and do any like unique shapes that's not Tetris.
Yep. They could have done anything. They could have done circles. They could have done, well, because they do have squares, but like they could have done diamond shapes, anything at all. And yeah, you're spot on. It's quite literally. I think even the color schemes match. So
I'm not a
I don't know if it's a
Tetris
nod.
expert to say.
So it's potentially just a nod maybe to one of the developers who grew up playing Tetris or something like that, and wanted to just do a little nod within the game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Forgot to switch. Hidos Enrico gets AP, don't know.
Yeah, I think you're okay Taro-wise anyway. Yeah, we're good. And a pointless script within Magic.
It's the Wrath of the Irish.
So, yeah, so Spectral Keeper there will always counter your attack, and then immediately afterwards gets turned and does the same thing. There are some niche enough strategies that exist now where if you need like Riku's Overdrive charged, you can do some funky stuff where you skip one of those and instead you get a Glyph Mine. But for the most part, especially for newer runners, wouldn't recommend. But it's really cool that, and this is like within the last 6 or 7 months, so it's really cool that people are still coming up with like variations of strategies in order to like cure problems that help later on. So, but I wonder, can we predict what's going to happen here? Bahamut one-shotting another boss?
No, this is it. No, it's the time.
Sorry.
Die and be free of pain. or live and fight your sorrow. Now is the time to shape your story. Your fate is in your hands.
Thank you very much, NiGhTBoX, for voicing the usual copy pasta. For this point in the speedrun, we normally dump Orange speaks in the chat. I neglected my duties as a commentator and forgot about it. So thank you for bailing me out on that one.
I'm actually surprised I memorized that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So, you'll have noticed, or you might not have noticed. So there what we want to see is a zombie weapon. If you know Alaska drops a weapon at all, it's always guaranteed to have zombie strike on it, and that comes in handy a little bit later on.
But we didn't.
Unfortunately. Another thing that maybe would have been overlooked is the luck sphere and the fortune sphere was grabbed on the way in to the Xanarkand Trials. That it's basically to avoid a 6% chance that Bahamut can miss Unalaska. If Bahamut misses on the first two phases, it's basically harmless. It's just a little bit slow.
I hope you know where you're going, part 2.
Yeah. And welcome back to Corridor Simulator. We'll get to see the airship in all its glory on a couple of different occasions here. So, it doesn't help that whoever did the interior design of the airship made every single corridor look the same.
Well, my baby here.
Yeah, I definitely get lost.
Yeah, the brain could definitely get a little bit disoriented there. I know obviously some of them have stairs, some of them are straight lines, but I think just like, especially whenever you're this deep into the run, your brain kind of just sees the colors and can sometimes sort of.
I must thank.
So.
And you'll see after this particular scene, you end up basically taking the same path again, and
part 3.
Yeah, personally, on more than one occasion, I have went back to Bavel rather than fly to Sin. We'll get to see a slight variation of strategy in this fight. And when I say slight, I mean slight. So, the last few instances, we've just summoned Bahamut and we smacked the enemy over the head with a claw. There's a little bit of a range problem here, so instead we have to impulse. I did say slight. So, yeah.
Crit. Ah.
You think he'd just be able to fly over there? Smack it.
It will crit here. Oh no.
Yeah, it is one of those things with the ginormous wings. You would think he could just float on over. And if you look at his attack animation, he actually does like fly over to hit something, but unfortunately we don't avail of that. Which would be quite handy because impulse is a higher ranked action than attack. So it's I think if you were able to just attack, you would actually get 2 attacks in before you get to see the simulators motionless. But yeah, it's a fine fight. It's safe. There's no danger here.
Yeah, the only time save that you will have here are crits.
Yeah, and
even in your average blitz, your average time save here is 11 seconds at best.
Yeah, and that's 11 seconds for a 8% crit chance. It's not particularly likely, unfortunately. It feels really nice when it happens. Oh. The benefit of Impulse is obviously with the long range we get to skip killing Janae and go straight for the Sin Core.
Part 4!
From the last path traveled, you'll sort of quickly realize how easy it is. Like, if you're not focusing at least a little bit, how easy it can be to sort of get yourself mixed up. I think it was beat by Crimson himself very, very quickly, but I think for like
Part 6
about 5 days, the world record had Crimson traveling to Besaid because he got mixed up with which part of the corridor simulator he was in.
That was a 5-day world record.
Yeah, excuse me. It was, I think it was one of his early attempts. So, I think there was always going to be saving it anyway. But yeah, he legitimately walked up the ring, flew to see it, and then had to get back on the beers. But was significantly enough far ahead that he was like, okay, I'll just finish this one. So, whenever we all make those little tiny non-run any mistakes, because we can always take solace in the fact that even literal world record holders can make them do. Nice roll.
Oh boy, this is a 3-shot.
Should be 73,000. So Sin here has 140,000 HP. That was a decent roll. Anything over 67
Never
here.
mind.
Yep, perfect. So, Bahamut can low roll as much as is it 66? So there was a ever so slight possibility. Sorry.
Okay.
The time for the Steve of Sorrow.
Time for walking and encounters.
I'll be right back.
So there's for the most part this isn't so bad. So you'll see the little circle arches there. With the exception of that one right there, you basically follow those and you're fine. So as long as
basically the minimap here doesn't really show you where you're supposed to be going, but since we're speedrunners, we already know where we're supposed to go. If you have any other shoutouts, this is the last place that you can do it right now. So yeah, go for it.
Alrighty. Well, this is for anyone who's new to this channel. Hello, we are Speed Stuff for Charity, and we're back with a collaboration event with the Asian Speedrunners Alliance. So Speed Stuff for Charity. We collaborate with all sorts of different communities to support charities through events like these all year long. So if you want to support us, please consider subscribing. And we do have subathon goals for varying events, varying runs. Currently we have a goal of 40 to unlock all the cutscenes. I say unlock, but go through all the cutscenes of Christenarium coming later tonight. And even if you can't subscribe, it totally helps if you spread the word. If you've got any social platforms, go ahead and spread the word about the event that you are watching today. We are going today and tomorrow with all sorts of different games, different runs. And of course, we appreciate you being here in the first place and supporting us. And we do hope that you've been enjoying this run of Final Fantasy X as we approach closer towards the
I'll be right back
here.
Yeah, so we're coming up now to the fourth and final Seymour fight. I'd like to just shout out one of the guys that works on the CSR, Crimson Inferno.
I'll be right back.
There is an absolute bop coming up right now, and for the longest time we just couldn't get it to work. Same I have not been able to CSR, but the community just couldn't get the music to work, and thankfully that was fixed fairly recently, so we're going to get to enjoy it here now.
Oh my god.
This dude can really hold a grudge.
I am taking my time selecting my attacks.
Okay, since NiGhTBoX spats of Seymour's quickly and rudely interrupted that song, I'll just sort of explain what happened there. So we armor Seymour's armor there
I
is
won't go so easy on you next
very high. So we use armor break to reduce that person down to 0, summon Bahamut, and then just hit him with a big light. There is a very small chance that armor break can fail, which is why you would have saw before attacking with Bahamut, NiGhTBoX in a second.
There's a very small chance that armor break can fail, but there's an alternative strategy. But since I have Riku in the party, I didn't really care about the alternative strategy. If armor break failed there, I will just reset and do it again.
Yeah, the CSR existent, it's actually if armor break misses, or
I'll be right back.
Titus misses in general for that matter, it's actually just faster just to close the game and reopen it. But yeah, especially since you need Riku Overdrive for the last boss as well, so you'd have to recharge thereafter. But yeah, we make light work of Seymour. Unfortunately, if the boss was a little bit more difficult, we might get to hear the little jam there for a little bit longer. But yeah, the armor break miss is about it's a 1 in 101, I believe, and unfortunately, most of us have probably had it happen to ourselves. Which is just delightful.
Okay.
So we mentioned earlier about there would be a mini game coming up that would make Tetris look like it was made specifically to make us happy. This is it. I think what we would call the eggs mini game is universally the least liked out of all of them in the speedrunning community. We're looking pretty good so far, to be fair, but there is no pattern to where icicles spawn. There is no pattern to where the eggs will spawn. And then really fun, nice avoidance there. That's actually a lot more difficult than you would think, purely because if you get hit by an icicle, the icicles that had currently existed when you got hit are invisible. So you have to be very careful. Once you get hit, you don't immediately just walk into another one that you can't see.
Oh wow!
Like I said, makes Tetris look like it was designed to be nice to us.
Okay.
So this is the final little bit of gridding. Unfortunately, we have to do a little bit of gridding extra with Titus as well, just purely because Unilesko wasn't kind enough to give us a little zombie weapon. But it's you moved to armor break, didn't you? You could probably yeah. So something that can be done here is you could use a return sphere. There we go. Normally that won't be there. Normally what we'll do is we'll use the return to the node beside armor break, but there's Titus is a long way to move to get the zombie attack there, so we're
Great.
yeah, that will all look good. You did first strike.
Time to face that.
In Mind Gagazette, so we're all good. So in CSR, it's time for Jack's second appearance in the whole game.
Just a quick sanity check.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Alright, we're good. This is my favorite song.
Yeah, we'll just enjoy the music here, and I'll explain the fight after when we're doing the Aeon Rush.
Yeah. Thankfully, I can enjoy the music more.
Perfect. Nice little bit of evidence there, at least that you gridded correctly. Okay, so just a quick explanation of that fight before we get into the Aeon Rush. Basically, we put in Riku, we mix a grenade with a HP sphere to use Chaos Grenade, because like Seymour, Frost's Final Aeon has an insane amount of armor, so we have to use Titus's turn to talk, which basically resets his attack, and instead of like being able to do an action, it says "God, calm down." So we use Chaos Grenade because it's a guaranteed hit of armor break, and then we just summon Bahamut and win. So you'll notice in the last grid we grabbed fair change, because in Spirit, all of life's problems can be solved with money. You can make an argument that we're repaying the Aeons for the work they did along the way, but let's be honest, you don't see effort until this moment, so...
No, this is their severance package. Balefor, thank you for your service. Here's 20,000.
Yeah, and if Reed gets 30k and doesn't show up until this moment, so he's basically stealing a living. But yeah. Yeah,
this is Sarah's retirement package. Here's 30k.
So, this
is our payment for Flower Worm's contributions to the notes. So Mafunyan is one of the hardcore Nemesis runners back in the day. He runs Nemesis on the regular.
Speaking of Nemesis run, was it Sarah for the PS2 run? Instead of swapping Orn for Yuna, I think attacked. Which
he attacked.
Yeah, which is
and he hit.
And like this is no CSR, no like speed of like the PC or anything like that. So like, yeah, there's a very story pass to Final Fantasy X. The community is very nice. You'll hear little tidbits here and there. If you again throughout the run, if you've like seen anything where you've been like, this looks like a blast, genuinely recommend picking up. I had no experience with speedrunning before I started this, and I became addicted very fast.
And this is our payment for the whole of Ireland. They can all share.
This was 2001, so theoretically, single-handedly trying to stop the Celtic Tiger from collapsing. I don't think anybody other than me will get that reference, but basically the financial boom in 2021 collapsed.
So time is when we hit Phoenix down on this guy.
Yeah, so it'll pan away.
Once the animation starts.
And that is time. GG's.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kraken. Thank you for commentating. Shoutouts to Christenarium for commentating part
Yeah, thanks very much for having us.
70% of the run.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.
No worries. Thanks for inviting us. Chris, unfortunately, a little bit of technical issues. But yeah, GG's again. Thanks for having us. And good luck with the rest of the event.
And this is Final Fantasy X, everyone. Have fun for the rest of the marathon.
Yeah, very much. Great job. This was super fun to watch. Yeah, good job with the run, and thanks for some awesome commentary there. And we had Chris, but tech issues, unfortunately couldn't be here for the second half of the run. But big thank you to Chris as well.